themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent, but be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School for another exciting edition of Indiana High School Volleyball here on Indiana SRN. A special weekend as it is the high school All-Stars for girls across the state of Indiana coming here to Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach Keith Myers. And Coach, after a fun, exciting, and successful campaign for a lot of these girls, not all of them were state champions, of course, but a number of them having strong seasons, it's time to close the year the only way one can, which is with the All-Star festivities.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's over 70 juniors came out for both of these teams on the South and North All-Stars. 70 kids. That's 140 kids that went out, and there was only 14 spots. Pretty incredible how they broke this down. It's kind of cool to be here. 2 weeks ago we were crowned a volleyball state champion, crowned 4 of them. It's kind of neat in this game because Michelle York, who used to coach at Heritage Christian, who no longer is there, is at Lipscomb High School in Tennessee, gets to coach one of the teams. And it's kind of cool talking to her. She goes, I was excited about coming back to Indiana to do more volleyball. And that's kind of cool to have Michelle on the court today.
I know the main focus of our afternoon into early evening hours today is going to be the action here at the All-Star game, but for those of us that weren't able to make that trip to Muncie for the state tournament, I know you go almost every year. How was that like this year, and were you happy with everything shaped up, and what was the experience like for those that haven't been able to make it out there that might want to for next year?
It's a good thing to do, Jimmy. If you do anything in your life, you need to go one time to the state finals. They're never on time. They're unpredictable. The popcorn is great. And nacho's not too bad either. But it was a good weekend. Debbie and I made it a weekend, and it was a lot of fun. Got to do the banquet that you saw here on Indiana SRN, which was fantastic on Friday night. But the games were very good, and volleyball is very healthy in the state of Indiana.
Some familiar faces on these junior teams that we will be broadcasting for you of our first contest today, most specifically that of Heritage Christian and Cathedral. Elizabeth Phillips and Lily Snyder, the two from Heritage Christian, and then of course Lucia Casaro, from Cathedral, who made a strong impact, one of the top liberos in the state, and all of them bunched together on the same team. I mean, it's fun in any sport or any level when you're making these dream teams, so to speak, but these are some loaded all-star rosters.
Not only that, you got Sarah Casper also from Cathedral, which is outstanding, and then Kendra McCoy from Brownstown Central. We got to see her, and Leda Smith from Newcastle. The junior class, I told someone today in the production meeting, I think if juniors played seniors, I think juniors could probably beat the seniors. Now, a lot of people would be disappointed in saying that, but the junior class is very, very loaded.
On the other side of things, with the North Junior All-Stars, we obviously haven't covered a lot of their games on Indiana SRN this year, but some familiar Central Indiana folks on there. Rose Chris from Noblesville, Mackenzie Daphne from Westfield, another talented bunch as well on this North Junior All-Star team, as you would expect.
Yeah, you put Erica Packwood in that from Crown Point, and the girl from Delta, and Paige Isaac from Westfield High School. Man, this team is loaded, and there's a good state runner-up on there from Callan as well. So it's a lot of fun, and during All-Star time, it's a long day putting this together. Lawrence North opened up their gymnasium to let the association to have that. It's a lot of neat. Jean and her staff has done a nice job putting this all together.
With this being the 2019 edition of the Indiana High School Volleyball Coach Association All-Star Weekend, Coach, I know you've been around it a lot. I know, like you mentioned, it's something that's very important to Coach Jean, but from where this event has been, let's say in the last 10 years, how have you seen it grow, and what have you heard from them of where they want it to be down the line?
Well, I think one of the things that I've noticed is this is our second year back as Indiana SRN doing that. I don't know if that has been ever televised before or broadcast before. I know this is our third year doing it. One time radio, then this is the second time that we've done TV. So that has grown. I think the exposure today, the Colts are not playing, so
no competition.
That means that no one else is. What else can you do but watch volleyball all day? So that's a cool thing. I know the Kansas City Chiefs are playing, but Jimmy, we'll keep you posted on that.
No, we're
game.
Good. The Chiefs are on bye as well. It's almost
good.
Like that the Indiana High School Volleyball Coach Association were in contact with the fine folks at Arrowhead Stadium to make sure the bye fell in here.
Yeah, the NFL followed suit.
Yeah, they did what they could for us. So, and even if you are, put the red zone on the secondary device. Have us on the primary screen and enjoy some quality volleyball throughout today. We're going to step away for the first time here on our pregame show. When we come back, we'll dive a little bit deeper into some of these junior rosters and set you up for what this day is going to be like at Lawrence North High School. It's a fully loaded event here at the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association, and we'll have more for you after this on Indiana SRN.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. My favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
My favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Well. Welcome back to Lawrence North High School. Keith Myers along with Jimmy Cook. This is like old hat. How many did we do this year? 24 of these things?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. A couple of rule changes today. It is not best of 5. It's best of 3. They'll play 25, and then 15. You have to win by 2, so it could go forever because there's no cap. But other than that, the rule changes, and every player has to play that's on your roster, which finds it very interesting at times. Do you go for the win or do you have to play everybody? And I think sometimes it's real important that kids just have fun today.
Yeah, I mean, and as it should be. I mean, you've had a long season. It's been a grueling campaign. And with an event like this, you should be able to take to the floor, see that this is supposed to be a fun event, and get everybody a little bit of playing time. It's not supposed to be a dominated faction. This isn't an Indiana versus Kentucky setup like they do with basketball. This is just celebrating all the talent that we have here across the state for one day of fun festivities here at the All-Star
Can
game.
I tell you a secret?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm coaching this game,
oh yeah, for sure,
you're going to win.
For sure,
you're going to
for
win.
Sure.
This morning when you had walkthrough and all those things, trust me, the last thing that both coaches said, and we will win.
I guess I should have walked that back a little bit. There's still competitive mentality there,
yes,
but it's more of a, I don't think you're going to see as you would with. The only other level where it's like everybody has to play, which makes sense for an all-star game, is like I remember in the youth basketball days when you're at an age where you're still just having fun. These girls are obviously well above that, but by comparison standpoint, everybody has to get some rotation.
Right.
So maybe there's one kid that's only getting out there for a minute, and you're letting everybody else roll out there. I don't think that's going to happen today. Everybody is so top-tier talented. You're fine, if you borrow from another basketball adage, taking the old John Calipari platoon movement. You have nice platoon swaps here at the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's right.
But the coaches very much will still be in it, like you said, to win it, no doubt.
You look at the rosters of these teams, and we have profiles for some of these kids, and some of their heroes. They talk about their mom being their heroes, or their brother being their hero, or their uncle, or someone who's made a difference or an impact in their lives. It's just kind of breathtaking. And when I got the sheet the other day when I walked in this morning, and it's just amazing to me the talent level and the compassion that not only that their daughters have or their niece have, but what the daughter has that passion from that uncle or from that brother that is bringing things really kind of cool. And it's kind of neat because we'll highlight some of those heroes with you today throughout the broadcast. You're in very good company. Jimmy Cook will do the 1 and 2 All-Star game along with Brooke Binky, the head coach of Covenant Christian, in 3-4. I'll get to do the sideline. I get to play around with the stands today. Looking forward to that. But the junior All-Star team, this is the future of next year. What things will look like, what teams will look like, how they will shape playing. Because believe it or not, these kids are going to take 3 to 4 weeks off before they go into to their club volleyball. Some of those kids haven't taken a time off yet, but they need to take a step away. Coach Brinky and I talked about it today. She goes, I just need to take 3 weeks away, and then I'll go right back at it. But, you need to step away from it and maybe enjoy a couple basketball games or watch the playoffs or eat a nice Thanksgiving dinner, whatever that might be. But they're going to have a great time today.
And it's very interesting also to see that a lot of these juniors probably got some advice from their senior counterparts that were in their shoes a year ago. What's these all-star festivities like? How do I improve today and then, make an impact my senior year as well? A great time for all of these young ladies on the floor to celebrate their accomplishments, whether they are juniors or whether they are seniors. It's a fun happening time here at Jack Kiefer Gymnasium.
The other thing, and we'll make this point real quick, the neat thing, since we're statewide and now worldwide, there are some coaches that might view this and say, okay, how do they respond to this situation? How do they respond to this situation? It's pretty cool. I guarantee you the guys in the white shirts today, the referees, they're going to call as little as possible because they'll want to watch these kids play as well. And I think you're going to come to almost perfection, if you will, as well as these officials will just let them play, and that's what you want.
That's what you'd want out of an all-star game. Couldn't have said it better myself, Coach. We are going to step away for the final time here on the pregame show. When we come back, it'll be the North versus South Junior All-Stars here from Lawrence North High School, the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Game. Live up next on Indiana SRN.
Featuring the best and the brightest of the players in the state of Indiana. The Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association stress the importance of good sportsmanship on the court and in the stands. In addition to winning, we're promoting and preparing young women and the values of scholarship, respect, and courage. We thank you, the fans, for being a great example to our student athletes. Lastly, I'd like to remind all fans that Lawrence North High School is a tobacco-free campus and that this rule will strictly be enforced. Our restrooms are located in the main lobby and on the second level. The concession stand is located in the commons area in the back of the gym. Most items can be purchased for $4 or less. We thank you for supporting. Now, fans, please stand if you're able.
In today's fast-moving business world, effectively marketing your company takes hard work, creativity, and the right team. With over 40 years of experience, PIP has been enabling companies large and small to find success in achieving their business objectives. We understand the challenges our clients face. That's why we have a variety of print solutions suited to fit your every need. Whatever your printing request may be, from a quick turnaround on a company brochure for an upcoming trade show, a direct mail piece that needs to be designed, printed, and mailed, to complex marketing projects, PIP is sure to have the right print solution for you. Nothing grabs attention like a well-crafted sign. It can transform virtually any surface into an eye-catching experience, boosting your marketing appeal. From banners, posters, floor graphics, and window decals, to wayfinding and yard signs. We not only help with sign design and getting it installed, we also integrate them into your overall marketing strategy, designed to help you win. PIP also provides best-in-class integrated marketing solutions to help you make the most out of your next campaign. Our approach to marketing ensures that your strategy is seamlessly executed across all media, online and offline, so your business always looks its best. At PIP, we understand it takes a team to achieve business growth, and that's why we're here to help. Get to know PIP and let us make your world a better place.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Keith Myers. We're set and ready to go.
Hey, Jimmy, if you're watching and you want to follow us on Twitter, you're more than welcome to do that. It's at indianasrn.org. We are 4 away from 1,000 followers. And if you're that 1,000 follower, you can win $55 gift card from Indiana SRN and Aspen Creek Grill. Just 1,000 away, 4 away from 1,000. So follow us on Twitter at Indiana SRN.
And as always, make sure you're not that guy that's trying to follow and unfollow to cheat the system.
Yeah, Brooke Binky already followed us twice today, so we have to take one of those away maybe.
Put an asterisk by it for sure.
Hey, the South is red tonight. The North, as you're seeing on the screen right now, they are blue. You want to run those down real quick?
Of course, starting with the North, from Delta High School, number 1, Bella Deeringer. From Garrett High School, number 2, Logan Smith. From Westfield High School, number 3, Peyton Isley. From Muncie Burris, number 4, Helen Mae Beach. From Westfield High School, number 5, Elleray Denimore. From Cohen High School, number 6, Grace Lynn Conway. Also from Cohen, number 7, Martina DeMarchi. From Noblesville High School, number 8, Rose Christ. From Mishawaka High School, number 9, Hannah Weiss. From Munster High School, number 10, Lourdes Torres. From Westfield as well, number 11, Mackenzie Daphne. From Fort Wayne, Bishop Dwenger, number 12, Molly Wigginton. From Wabash as well, number 13, Mariah Wyatt. And from Crown Point High School, number 14, Erica Packwood. For the South, from Newcastle High School, number 1, Layla Smith. Number 2, from Cathedral, Lucia Crosaro. From Heritage Christian High School, number 3, Elizabeth Phillips. From Cathedral High School, number 4, Sarah Casper. From Newcastle High School, number 5, Bailey Cox. From Trinity Lutheran, number 6, Kennedy Hoffman. From Brownstown Central, number 7, Kendra McCory. From Heritage Christian, number 8, Lily Snyder. From Bloomington South, Kennedy Coyley. From Park Heritage, number 10, Atlantis Clendenin. From Center Grove, number 11, Grace Bogus. From Providence High School, number 12, Allie Hornung. For Bloomington South, number 13, Bailey Demir. And from Franklin Central, number 14, Harley Soriolski.
There's the lineup for you. Thanks, Jimmy. No keys, I don't think. Just have fun, right?
Yeah.
Throw it out and have fun.
From the aspect of how you expect coaches to, ordinarily you're utilizing a strategy or a game plan due to the strengths that you have on your team. When you have so much talent on both these rosters and such pros at the controls coaching both these squads, how do you expect strategy at all to come involved, or are you just saying, hey, just go out there and just wing it?
Well, I got the opportunity to coach a couple All-Star games, and as I got with my coaches, I said, okay, how are we going to do that? And they said, Coach, why don't we just go and see what they look like at practice, and we go Team A, Team B, and you just mass substitute with them. And I don't know, that's one of the ways they can do that. The other way, you're going to play everybody, maybe someone, the whole 6 plays game 2, 7 plays game 1, and 7 plays game 2. It's very interesting. We'll see how it all works out. It is best of 25, though. That's the interesting thing, and you got to win by 2.
So the race to 25, we talked about it. It's 3-set matches all across the way today. Not your traditional 5-set at the varsity level.
The interesting thing is Michelle York is coaching in Indiana probably the first time in a year, and then Kurt Chandler, who's been her longtime assistant and was the assistant coach at Heritage Christian this year, he is stepped aside. This is his last official duty as the assistant coach at Heritage Christian. How about that? He's retiring this year. It's kind of cool.
Well, hey, not a bad way to hang it up with a state title underneath your belt. Yeah. Most recently, this past last month, actually. So
retire when you're on top.
Happy for him, and congratulations to Coach Chandler on the impressive career. We await final preparation from both these teams. I want to once again thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday, not only to spend time with us, but also to watch these young ladies on the floor for the All-Star festivities.
And if you notice, there's no libero today. Straight up volleyball.
Is that traditional for the All-Star?
Yes,
game?
sir.
Any particular reason?
I don't know.
No?
It's very interesting.
When you're down on the sideline, you might have to talk to some of the officials.
I'll do that.
It'll be Bailey DeMeyer from Bloomington South, an ace right out of the gate. Not a bad way to start things off. Bailey continues the service on the far left side of your screen. Headed to Murray State to continue her academic and athletic play.
One of her heroes is her grandpa. She looks up to him because of his career in the U.S. Army. That's pretty cool. He is a veteran.
Kennedy Coyley right into the net. A couple moments ago, the North scored a point to get on the board, but that unforced error makes it 2-1. Gives service to Atlantis Clendenin from Park Heritage. That serve had a lot of velocity on it, but long of the mark. Point to the North All-Stars.
Maybe a little adrenaline tonight.
Could be. It's a different, we've talked about it all year long. This is a capacity crowd, as it's been for most of the volleyball contests we've covered this year. As you'd expect for an all-star event, as that one is wide of the mark. And two of the 3 North points have come on unforced errors by the South All-Stars. We talked about the crowd, how packed it's always been. This no different, of course. And there's a buzz in the venue, for sure. Service by Conway. Returned, down for a kill. ties us up at 3 here early. We'll take another look at that one.
Now serving.
Nice shot down the far outside.
With the check. That's
Counterattack by the North. That floater dug in by Hornung. Outside spike is blocked. And no one's going to get there. That'll be a point for the North. 4-3 is both these teams, no surprise, trading blows left and right. Not a lot of separation early.
That and they've never known each other except at
Right.
10 o'clock this morning. Oh, by the way, my name is.
Right? Hey, it goes both ways, right? From a chemistry standpoint, as Coach mentioned, both these teams getting thrown together today. But on the other side of things, you're really feeling out your opponent right now because there's so many different weapons on the floor. How do I want to play this? What are they going to be showing me? What are they giving me? What are they trying to take away? 5-3 the North. They've scored the last 2 straight. Service by Christ. Play in front of the net. Bogus gets it down. Grace Bogus out of Center Grove.
Now here comes subs.
Grace Bogus with the kill. Point, South All-Stars.
Makes it within 1.
The serve for the South All-Stars, number 8.
Lily Snyder from Heritage
Lily
Christian
Snyder.
serving it up. Such a critical cog into the Heritage Christian state title winners. Block in front of the net. Bogus was there along with Allie Hornung. Play in front of the net. Able to get it over are the North All-Stars. Bogus in front of the net, and that is just off the line.
Point, North All-Stars. With the serve for the North, number 10, Lourdes Torres.
North serve it up. They fake to Bogus on the outside, go the other way, and that will be blocked but out. So another point for the South. Both these teams hanging neck and neck.
Yeah, the rotation, the whole entire atmosphere. I think it will take 8, 9, 10 points to calm you down, and it just comes natural to you again.
Well, we look at, for instance, the first broadcast we did of the year is the North counter with that shot that just rode the back line. Hard to tell from our vantage point, but the line judge had a better angle at it. They say that's in. It'll be a point for the North. We looked at Heritage Christian to start the year, and that was a very top-tier talent team. I'm not saying it was a group of all-stars per se, but there was enough big names on there for this to work. You're getting your feet wet, and your first contest, it's not going to look as great as the contest to end the year. For these girls, there is no end of the year. It's a one-off, and you got to give it whatever you have and hope that chemistry works on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
All tied at 7, more subs coming in. Bailey Cox from Newcastle checking in for the South All-Stars. She'll have the service. All tied at 7 apiece. No surprise that these two teams are deadlocked here early. Play in front of the net. That's a ricochet spike that goes down. Gracelyn Conway.
From Cowan High School.
Point. North All-Stars now serving number 1, Bella Derringer.
Counterattack by the South. That's a heavy spike that is just going to get over the net, but it's lit up right into the hands of Atlantis Clendenin.
Boy, I tell you what, she played like that at Park Heritage all year long. No wonder Park Heritage had a really good ball club. All these kids played on winning teams, and they were their stars, so to speak.
Right.
So she played with a very aggressive play.
Bailey Demir from Bloomington South to the service. We're all tied at 8 apiece. Overhand serve in this first set. Best of 3 rules apply. Race for 25. South once again go that way. This time to Phillips. Play in front of the net is blocked. There to make the play was Layla Smith out of Newcastle High School.
She's used to winning some games, hasn't she?
Yeah, no doubt about that.
She won a state championship in 4A this year.
Undecided yet for her college choice.
Nice pass.
Geringer setting up that spike opportunity, but it was just long by Christ. Be a point for the South, and for the first time since the early goings, we have a 2-point advantage. It's 10-8. Demir's service continues. Overhand shot. Counter from the North. That spike is played nicely on the back line. They try to set up once again Clendenin, and she delivers for the second time today. Makes it 11-8. Largest lead for either team.
I know you can't see her face on the camera as well, but boy, she just gets really big eyed.
A lot of emotion and expression after she delivers those shots. I love the tenacity. Deeringer setting up a shot, taken by Christ. South counter, and that pass was just a tad short for Smith to turn two with it, if you will, to put it down.
Smith tried to use the back door, and the door was shut there.
Misjudged the height of the door. Conway's service. Counterattack by the South, and that time Smith got all of it and then some. My goodness.
Jimmy, I would not miss that at all. I don't think I want to sit in front of that at all.
You know, you asked me many times this year, how would I feel if something was coming at me that fast? I would have dove out of the way completely. There'd be no attempt to make a play on that as the South starting to go on a little bit of a run.
Nice little ace there.
Shot by Clendenin. Showing she can work the inside and the outside. It's a high toss to herself on that serve. Other way with it, and that's going to be a kill for Phillips.
Free souvenir for the fans as they throw it back.
And a timeout will be taken. We'll take one as well. 14-9 your score. 5-point advantage to the South All-Stars on Indiana SRN.
Life Centers offers love and compassion to all women and men who come through our 8 centers. The goal of this love and compassion is that we would not only save babies from abortion, but also transform lives and create families. The forms of this love and compassion are our services. All of our services are offered free of charge to our clients. To learn more about Life Centers, contact us at lifecenters.com or call us at 317-280-2635. Life Centers. We choose compassion.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach Keith Myers. Play in front of the net leads to a violation against the North. It'll be a point for the South.
That might be the only call they make today is the 10-foot.
Let them play?
Yeah, let them play.
It's now a 6-point advantage. This was at one point tied at 3-3. Since then, the South outscoring the North 12-6. And finally, the North getting a bit of a break as that serve by Clendenin is airmailed. Gives service back to the North Junior All-Stars and Rose Christ out of Noblesville. Serves it down the line. Counterattack goes outside. Easy money by Phillips. No, excuse me. They'll call a violation into the net, I believe, on Phillips. And that will give the point to the North. So makes it a 2-0 run ongoing for the North. Service continues for Christ. Down the line, and that'll be a 3-0 run. North starting to get back into it a little bit.
A couple of people are checking in around the state of Indiana. Thanks for Kevin Miller watching us in Columbus, Indiana. Paul Ferry is listening to us as well. Thanks very much for checking in on Twitter.
Service continues for Christ. Play in front of the net. They go outside. Block. Great play right in front there by Weiss and Bella Derringer. A 4-0 run.
Going to see a lot of those, aren't you, back and forth?
I expect to. What was more surprising was the big hole that the South had established there, and there's an unforced error. And that's half of that is just the chemistry we talked about, Coach. You're not used to setting up different players like that. Just a little bit of mistiming.
Coach would tell you it's the brilliant coaching that called the timeout. So good job by Coach. Right.
Felt the pulse of the game. Leaders of these all-star teams are important too. Service by Christ. Counterattack outside. Hornig. It's a dig by the North. Play in front of the net. They keep it alive. Go outside. Down the line, Hornig shot. Kept in play. One hit to get it over. Chris does that. We'll continue. They set up on the outside. Hornig again. That one's airmailed. 6 straight, and we're tied at 15.
I tell you what, that was a great set. She just didn't put the whole entire hand on top of the ball.
Christ. Overhand service. Counterattack. That one, was it blocked? No, it was not. It was just airmailed again by Smith.
Point, North All-Stars.
And now they have the lead. It's a 7-0 run, and the South will take a timeout as well. 7-0 run for the North. They lead by 1. Stay with us on Indiana SRN.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach Keith Myers. Unforced error there that time by Chris. That ends a 7-0 run rather.
Number 11, Grace Burgess.
And we're tied at 16. You can expect a lot of runs back and forth, as Coach mentioned during that last timeout. Service belongs to Lucia Casaro, one of the best liberos in the state, or at least in the Central Indiana broadcast that we covered, but you feel pretty confident saying in the state type of play she made for Cathedral. There's a shot down the line that just lands in.
17-16 now South. Back and forth, this is going to, I think the biggest lead for South has been 6, is that correct?
Yes, sir. A 6-point lead for the South at 15-9.
This is like a sprint now to 25, though.
Everybody's backs against the wall trying to make that final run. Casaro, her service. Received by the North. That strike is down. North starting to feel it a little bit. Back tied at 17. Race for these final 8 points. Peyton Isley headed to Morehead State University. Her service, almost an ace, but it's returned by the South. That shot partially blocked, but unable to get a hand on it was Casaro.
Boy, I tell you what, that touches her. It's really tough because that ball is coming off her hand at a different angle where you're trying to bring it up.
And you saw the hustle and tenacity there by Casaro that we've seen all year long. Still got a paw on it, but like you meant, that change of direction just enough to throw her off. They set up on the outside. Horning has to set it. Going to get a clean spike look on it. Now the North goes outside. That's blocked. Casaro to Hornung. Good play by the North to get it over, and they do. Bogus this time, blocked. Hornung, one shot to get it over, airmailed it. Wow. 19-17, North leads.
Talking, you know, it's an all-star game, but they're working so hard. I mean, 2 of them diving for the ball.
Treating it like it's the state finals.
There you go.
Phillips service. They went that time to Clendenin, who's made a couple plays. Then Bogus in front of the net sends it down.
Really nice play that time.
Point South All-Stars.
Makes it 19-18. They're back within 1.
Also number 8.
Kennedy Coyle checking in for Bloomington South, as well as Lily Snyder with the service. Snyder, an ace. Delivered a couple of those this year for Heritage Christian en route to their state title.
I noticed Lily Snyder's wearing number 8. I think she's wore that since she's been in 3rd grade.
Believe that. They're tied at 19. Snyder again has such a unique serve. Just drops right there at the 10-foot line. When she wants it, she can also send it long distance when it is called for. Counterattack by the North. Led by Casaro cleanly to get over the net. A block by Bogus. North one hit to get it over. They will. Bogus got it through. 3-0 run, and it's 2019 South. Snyder continues that service. Almost miscommunication. Bogus goes with the set. Cross shot blocked. Point for the South. Well played on the outside there by Coyley.
the North almost caused them to have an unforced turnover, but someone was right there to save that ball. Good job for Casares.
It's been a 4-0 run since service started for Snyder. Casaro reads it. They go outside, and a little bit of miscommunication there on the set. Just out of the reach of Coyley. Point for the North.
Set the serve for the North. Number 10, Lourdes Torres.
Makes it 21-20. Torres. Received by the South. They fake to Bogus. Go outside. It's blocked, and the North have tied it.
Torres from Munster, Indiana. Her hero is her grandmother because she always told her to look up to people and always took care of herself. Her grandmother, one of her heroes. It's kind of neat that these girls respect their grandmother and parents.
Respect the people that helped get them to this point. Not just on the hardwood, but in all walks of life.
21-21. Yeah, you want to bet it? 22-20. You think it will go more than 25?
Yes, the way it's going, yes.
Okay.
Never know, though. The South have had the longest run today, a 6-0 run. They're on a 1-point run right now. And part of that stretch was by Clendenin. Full fastball. Good play by the North with the finesse. We're tied at 22. Such a contrast of styles there. You have the full fastball spike there by Clendenin, and then a nice, just soft touch.
The little soft touch, yeah.
Now serving.
It's almost like the layup and the three-point shot.
Exactly. Different ways to get you across the finish line. Deeringer's service is an ace.
Wait a minute. Yep.
Point.
A 2-0 run for the North. They're within striking distance.
Young lady from Delta High School.
Overhand service, almost an ace. It is. Great service by Deiringer. And it is set point here in this best of 3 for the North. Timeout taken by the South. We'll stay here. 24-22 your score. Coach, no limit of excitement there so far.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if you like to be involved in Indiana SRN and this assignment, we do more than volleyball. We do all kinds of sports. But if you're a volleyball coach and you're out there, we're looking to expand our season next year in the 2020 year. So we would love to talk to you and give you the X's and O's, if you will, to Indiana SRN. Contact us at indianasrn.org, and we love to have you. Our third crew member right here, Brooke Minky, she will be with you in game 2 and 3 as Brooke coaches at Covenant Christian. Got some airtime. She was ready. She got her makeup on. She's ready to go.
A revolving door of talent for Indiana SRN.
There you go.
Deeringer's service for the set. They'll counter it. Torres shot. Read well. They'll go outside. The spike is down with authority. That was on the outside by Coyley. A little redemption. They're back within 1. August will take a seat, so they lose a little bit of height there, but it's replaced by Layla Smith. They get enough of it back.
24-23. Game point here.
Serving is Bailey Kotz. Deiringer sets up outside. Spike rattles through, and the North takes set number 1, 25-23. We'll step away briefly. When we come back, we'll have the second set in this best of 3. It's the North and South Junior All-Star Game on Indiana SRN.
25-23.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach Keith Myers. A shot of the South All-Stars there as they trail 1-0 in this best-of-3 set for the Junior All-Star game. Presented to you by the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association. Coach, a lot of action to unpack there in that first set. It went back and forth, a 6-0 run at one point in time by the South All-Stars. Up 15-9, looked like they'd be in the driver's seat. And they get outscored 16-8 the rest of the way, and the North take that first set.
You know, it took a while for both teams to get kind of acclimated to the court and what they're doing. And, you know, when it got to that 11-12 spot, everything came out natural to kids, and they played the best of their ability. And, you know, we see some highlights here, some heavy hitters in this ballgame.
I don't think we got a shot of it directly on replay, but one hit, of course, in that first set, just right off the chest of a North player. One of the fastest spikes that we've seen all year, and that's coming from a setup where we called the likes of, you know, Raven Colvin, for instance, on Heritage Christian. So plenty of talent and speed on display, and maybe using a little of the afterburners that maybe you didn't save for the state tournament now here for the All-Star game.
Yeah, and you know, the cool thing is you get to play one more.
Exactly.
And here's the interesting thing. If you look at the official, the down underneath official is looking at his scorecard. No, he's not looking at a scorecard. He doesn't care where the lineup is. He doesn't care where the rotation is. All he cares is he's going to give the ball, and they're going to play volleyball.
And the coaches over there for the North obviously having a nice back and forth there. As you pointed out, the officials faking like they have that scorecard.
By the way, I'm out of rotation. If I'm out of rotation, I'm
Let
sorry.
me know. Tell us. Exactly. Major concern there for sure by the coaches and the officials in this All-Star game. It'll be service to the North.
And it tells you what kind of relationship the Coaches Association has with the Officials Association. It's pretty kind of cool.
Logan Smith from Garrett High School serving. That nipped over the net for a let serve. 1-0. North picking up right where they left off in that first set.
You know, you look at this roster, Delta, Garrett, Cowan, Munster, Wabash, Crown Point. These girls traveled a long way today to come play in this game.
Play in front of the net, answered cleanly by Layla Smith.
Down on the south, you got Bloomington South, you got Brownstown Central, Trinity Lutheran. Kind of cool to see the whole entire state involved in this All-Star game. Very enjoyable, and we're glad that we're part of it.
Layla Smith, that last point, says her mom is her hero. Undecided where she's going to play college ball. A point for the North there, as that was one of those bang-bang calls. Was it out, was it in? The officials say out. It'll be a point for the North, 2-1. Mariah Wyatt from Wabash High School serves it up in play. And that's an ace as well. So 2 of the first 3 serves for the North, both aces. Didn't see many aces, just I think 1 in that first set unofficially. Play in front of the net, out of a cannon from Lila Smith.
Layla Smith with the KO point. South All-Stars.
Well,
In for the South.
Newcastle should be pretty impressed with that, huh?
Yeah.
Now serving.
Here they have a radar gun there at the volleyball court just for those spikes. Service by Casaro. Set up by Daphne. Spike ricochets out, but off the block. We take a replay of that hard hit there by Smith. Full force, just quick out of the cannon. Quick out of the gun as well on the reflex. Martina DeMarchi out of Cohen High School. Serves up, Casaro reads it. High pass in front of the net. Counterattack on the outside. Daphne down for the kill. 5-2, all North so far in this second set.
Music to my ears, Jimmy.
DeMarkey running jump serve. Casaro reads it. Outside. South looking for some answers. North on the counterattack. That shot is out. So there's the unforced error. Or really point of any kind South were looking to end this run.
Nice job by South rotating over to go and get that ball aggressively. As now Phillips has checked in the ball game. And also number 14.
Carly Sorialski, excuse me.
From Franklin Central High School.
Sorialski with the service. Outside counter, Daphne's shot, dug in by Casper. Cross-court shot is down by Hoffman. Kennedy Hoffman out of Trinity Lutheran. Makes it a little 2-0 run. And the South are back within 1. Sorialski continues her service. Soft finesse shot in front of the net.
How about that
pancake down there?
Good job
by Casper.
Yeah, Casper did a nice job. She's going to Notre Dame University, not playing volleyball, all academic, and girl's a genius.
That's awesome. A strong addition for the campus in South Bend. Has a nice play once again, this time by the North. Ends that little South run on that block.
Molly Wington from Fort Wayne Bishop. Dwanger got her big hands up on top of that and banged it back in.
Erica Packwood serving. Sorrow dug in for it. Awkward hit initially there on the outside by Sorialski.
Point. North All-Stars.
Service continues for Packwood. Overhand serve, it's a low one. South try to counter. That shot is blocked, and the defense has come out to play in the second set for the North All-Stars.
Second time everybody played up and forgot that there's a back row.
South won a timeout. We'll take one as well. 9-4 North. They lead 1-0 in the sets on Indiana SRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Keith Myers. Service by the North. Another ace.
Point. North All-Stars.
They lead it 10-4.
North is really dominating this game so far.
They've been all over it on both sides. I would say that an unforced error.
Yeah. Send your hate mail to Jimmy Cook.
I think that was a group effort on that broadcast, Jinx. But it's fine. Drag me under the bus.
I'll take the hit for you. That's okay.
We can share it. It's fine. Hoffman's service at ace. Just when they needed it.
Hoffman from Trinity Lutheran School down in the southern part of the state.
Makes it 10-6. She'll continue her service. Play in front of the net. Ricocheted out. But they'll say it was off of a deflection by the South. So Molly Widgeon with the point off of that rejection. That went out. Lead back to 5. Peyton Isley serving for the North. Shot on the outside, partially blocked. South digging to keep it alive. Full-scale shot by Phillips. Now counter by the North. And that shot rides the line, off balance with one hand by Mackenzie Daphne out of Westfield High School. He made that look easy.
I mean, that was right down the line. I mean, that's a tough play to make. A nice effort, but just no question and no answer.
Isley serving there on the far left corner of your screen. Receiving the back line. Counter strike that time. That is down off the ricochet.
Good old Casper. We've seen her do that all year long for Cathedral High School.
And second nature for her there for Cathedral. That'll be Allie Hornick serving for Providence High School, from Providence High School. Overhand serve. And that time, that off-balance shot attempted once again by Wyatt, but she kind of lost her footing. Unforced error, point for the South. They trailed 12-6, back within 4, 12-8. South looking for a defensive stop, but that one just slightly misplayed by Soryalski. Makes it 13-8, lead back to 5 for the North. It feels like that 5-point gap for the North is insurmountable right now due to the inability for the South to get on a run in the second set.
Good point.
And that's an ace right in front of the line. Just barely tight-roping it.
That is called being flat-footed and then stunned because the ball was hit right there.
Makes it 14-8. And another one, same spot almost. Pinpoint accuracy there by Mackenzie Daphne.
You know, we'll ask Coach, but what do you do in that situation? Do you move her so then she goes to the other side? I mean, she's right where she's supposed to be. Just nice location.
See if she goes to the same spot. That service. Tried to go the opposite way with it. Play in front of the net, and they'll say a violation against the South. Contact with the net, they'll say made by Smith.
Boy, I tell you what, she hit the ball 10, though. She might have got the net, but she hit the ball.
She reminded the front line that she's got that tenacity.
Yeah. By the way, I'm here.
Floating shot by the South, countered by the North. It's partially blocked. Good pass there by Isley. And that's going to be a kill. Unable to get there was Soryalski. Got a paw on it. But it's now 17-8, the largest lead by either team in this match. In the driver's seat now is the North All-Stars. High pass to lead to that serve. Soft play in front of the net. It's a point for the North. It looked like there was contact with the net there by the South, and they looked like they might initially let it go. But
they have called that violation.
We'll take one as well. Timeout on the floor, 18-8, all North on Indian SRN.
Parents, do you like free food? Get on over to Prodigy Burger Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Back to live action here at the Junior All-Star session of the Indian High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Games. Point for the North there. Another ace, as that return shot could not be corralled by the South. Service continues for Mackenzie Daphne, right where we left off that last time. 19-8 advantage, and that shot finally stops the bleeding for the South. That one ricocheted out. Point for the South. They're back within 10.
We remind you, if you're listening at home or watching at home, we're playing the best of 3 and 225. So it's not the best of 5 as you're used to watching a varsity match. It's best of 3 today.
The South in desperate need of a little bit of a run. The North have just been too good, though, so far in this second set. Calling for that was Cox. They get it over. Counter strike by the North. That shot is kept in play by the South and blocked in front of the net by the North. That one attributed to Mariah Wyatt out of Wabash High School. 20-9, a total flip of the script from the competitive balance that we saw in that first set.
Yeah, and now it's the race to 25, a 5-point race here, and see what the North has in store.
South in need of a little bit of a run. Serving is Logan Smith out of Garrett High School. Snyder setting up outside. Shot is down. That time by Coyley. Much needed point. They're going to need a lot of those in a hurry, though.
South All-Stars.
Sarah Casper out of Cathedral, staple for the Irish.
Now serving number 4, Sarah Casper.
Lines up her serve. Played on the back line. Counter strike by the North is down. Diving for that was Hornung, but it was just out of her reach. The North had just been a step or two better, and they've really elevated that step to more of a deep lunge in the second game between the two teams.
Number 5, Ellery Denimore.
Denimore prepares to serve. Counter by the South. They go outside, just down on the corner. Coyley finds it on the right side. She's had some bright spots these last couple of points.
I tell you what, Bloomington South is going to be in pretty good shape if she comes back. She's very strong, knows how to spike the ball. Well, I tell you what, the southern south region of volleyball is very good. Also, the north. It's going to be a lot of fun watching these kids play next year as seniors.
No doubt for that talent. It's going to be a wild ride, as we already saw for part of this year. That play in front of the net by Coyley, and we talked about it a lot, Coach. Many of the teams that we covered had promising freshmen and sophomores that are going to be at this level next year that were playing varsity last year.
Make a great point, Jimmy. Really some good teams that we covered this year that had a lot of underclassmen.
They set up Coyley again, and when they've needed points, they've gone to her down this little run. They still can't get over this 10-point hump, though. Really started early on.
They just went big to bigger, just putting Phillips back into this ball game.
It was 5-2. The North led at one point in time. They now lead it, or they've now been on a run that stretched 17-10, make it 17-11 after that most recent point. So it was that early run that got going for the North that really created this separation and have put the South in a situation where they almost have to play error-free. Late adjustment there on that serve by the North line. It paid off, though. That was Hannah Weiss on the outside. Got the kill. Bumps the lead back to 10.
That ball comes off her hand. You could hear it up here. Just a big old hit.
Packwood service. North had to dive for it. Heck of an effort there by Sorialski. She kept it alive. The lead for the point for the South.
How about that? She went on from the whole other side of the court to make that play. Great play. Good hustle.
Turned on the Jets there. One more look at that one. Nice play.
Nice play.
Point for the North, though. There's been some good highlights for the South in the second game, but the North set up for match point here. Peyton Isley's service. Received by the South. Counter shot is blocked, and the North take the All-Star Junior game 2-0. Total sets 25-14. The final.
24-14. They win the match. 2 games to deal. 25-43. 25-14.
Coach, a lot of wild action in that first game. Didn't know where things were going to go. A 25-23 final. North win that one. And then we mentioned it. It was a 1.5-2 in this second set. Still within striking distance for the South. But they get outscored 20-12 the rest of the way. The North had the foot on the throats, and they did not let up.
Yeah, and it's a typical All-Star game where everybody gets to play, but outstanding play both sides. And you get to a point where all of a sudden momentum comes your way. You continue to score after score after score, and you saw that in game number 2 for the North. They just got so far ahead that it's really hard to come back. So nice play. I love that both teams played their best that they could, and we crowned a champion of the All-Star, and it's the North All-Star.
And you mentioned it as well. A good celebration for the end of the year for both of these teams, and it really proves that even though the South fell up short here, the whole state, volleyball's in great shape right now, especially at the junior level.
I keep on saying what Coach Jean tells us all the time when we have memos and she talks to me. She says the volleyball world is healthy. The volleyball world is healthy, and we got great coaches, we got great parents who understand that sportsmanship is very important. And that's the most important thing we saw today was sportsmanship, and we saw how these teams, they met each other this morning. I believe at 9:30 this morning is when they met each other. So kind of cool, and they put on a great show today.
Well, we're going to have a fully loaded slate today. This isn't our only contest. You mentioned that Coach Binky's going to come on for I believe the next two broadcasts, if I'm not mistaken, which of course will be the 1A, 2A North-South game, senior driven there, and then of course the 3A, 4A game the same way as well, celebrating the seniors that see their careers essentially come to a close. Really the last time they'll participate in the high school volleyball game, if I'm not mistaken. You know the schedule a little bit better than me, but I believe that this is...
it's very interesting, as I see, and Brooke could talk about this too. She played for Covenant Christian and putting on that uniform for the last time for your school, but then making the all-star team and putting that uniform on one more time, getting the uniform that that you always wanted. You wanted a uniform, and these kids get to keep the uniforms. These girls get to keep all the memories. It's just pretty cool that you wrap up the school year, ended up with a medal around your neck, and it's just a lot of fun. The dog even got a medal. Hey, how about that?
That's spectacular. That is.
I want to be the dog. Shoot.
Not a bad gig.
Not a bad gig at all.
Not a bad gig at all. Well, like we mentioned, there's going to be a full slate of games all going on today. 1A, 2A will take place just in a little bit. I believe that is a
2:30 start.
2:30 start is what's listed. We don't know if the speed will change anything at all on that. But about 27 minutes from now with the warm-up clock reads, we'll see if they push that to the full time. And then, of course, 4 p.m. for the 3A, 4A game.
The neat thing is, Jimmy, for game number 2 and game number 3, I get to go down and I get to mingle with the coaches. I get to go up to the stands and just talk to people about the health of the game and about their kids. And, that's the really kind of cool what we do here at Indiana SRN. That's pretty neat that we get to see that the whole entire year.
We will have Coach Myers on the floor, as I mentioned, doing sideline, and Coach Binky will join me in coach's chair for games 2 and 3, of course, being the 1A, 2A, and 3A, 4A. For now, we'll step away. Again, your final here in the North Junior, South Junior All-Stars. The North are the winners. They take it 2-0. Stay with us. More All-Star volleyball action after this. You're watching on Indiana SRN.
In today's fast-moving business world, effectively marketing your company takes hard work, creativity, and the right team. With over 40 years of experience, PIP has been enabling companies large and small to find success in achieving their business objectives. We understand the challenges our clients face. That's why we have a variety of print solutions suited to fit your every need. Whatever your printing request may be, from a quick turnaround on a company brochure for an upcoming trade show, a direct mail piece that needs to be designed, printed, and mailed, to complex marketing projects, PIP is sure to have the right print solution for you. Nothing grabs attention like a well-crafted sign. It can transform virtually any surface into an eye-catching experience, boosting your marketing appeal. From banners, posters, floor graphics, and window decals, to wayfinding and yard signs. We not only help with sign design and getting it installed, we also integrate them into your overall marketing strategy, designed to help you win. PIP also provides best-in-class integrated marketing solutions to help you make the most out of your next campaign. Our approach to marketing ensures that your strategy is seamlessly executed across all media, online and offline, so your business always looks its best. At PIP, we understand it takes a team to achieve business growth, and that's why we're here to help. Get to know PIP and let us make your world a better place.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Sad news today. What's going on, Coach?
Well, I officially retired from Heritage Christian for the third time. I keep getting pulled back in, but I believe that this is my last time as the coach.
It's been a long time. You've been there a long time. What's kind of the favorite memory? Jimmy and I hit today. You're leaving because you're a state champion, but that's not the reason. But it's just been a lot of great times with Heritage Christian over these years.
Yeah, it has been. It's been great to be there. I've been there 14, 15 years. Michelle and I have coached together for years, and then it was, Kyla Montgomery, and when she came in, it was one of those Michelle and I talked about it, hey, can you help her out, make sure she gets in there? And she goes, by the way, I want you to win state also. So it was kind of one of those, it was bittersweet. I knew I was done this year, one way or the other. But to go out as a state champion is always good. And it's always good for the program too.
So all those meetings that you and I were talking about, you just held that secret from me. I will never trust you again.
There was a lot of people who were the same way. They're like, when did you know this? And I said, well, April of last year. And they were like, you kept it this long? I was like, yeah, unfortunately, I can keep a good secret if I have to. So, it's one of those I do it for the kids, and I do it for the community. And volleyball is one of the fastest growing sports in the United States. And, these girls are a testament, and the guys that are around the sport now that are picking it up, that's a great testament to the sport itself.
And you get to see your daughter play a little bit more now. You don't have to worry about those Thursday games to leave here to go up there.
Yeah, whenever she went to college, we talked several times about, hey, you're in college now at University of St. Francis, and, I'm not going to make all those matches. I'm going to make as many as I can, and the thing about it was I did miss her last match of this year, but it was when I was winning the state championship, and we talked about it after her season was over and mine was over, and she was like, I wouldn't want you any other place at that point. She goes, but next year I really want you around. So, that's how it goes.
Okay, we expect you to help us with our coverage at Indiana SRN next year.
I can do that. I will be around some, so I can help you, Keith.
That's Coach right there. We'll go back. And we'll take this break. We'll be back after this. You're watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
If you find yourself confronted by unwanted pests in your home or office, then you need to contact the professionals at Kim Mountain Pest Control. We offer quality pest control solutions at an affordable price. We specialize in ants and termites. We're also available to handle a variety of other pests, including roaches, fleas, and flying insects, as well as rats and mice. Don't wait until pests cause severe damage to your home or property. Contact the team of experts at Kim Mountain Pest Control today.
Back from the All-Star game with us now is Michelle York. Congratulations.
Thank you. Excited to be back.
Back in Indiana playing some volleyball. This is a great event. You've been with this organization since day one. Explain to the people at home that may not understand about the Coaches Association and what it means for the volleyball coaches across the state of Indiana.
So this is a great organization. You know, they've worked really hard to be coaches for the coaches. So even everything from their website, providing information for new coaches to even experienced coaches, what they need to know, promoting the sport of Indiana, and not only statewide but nationally. You know, this event right here that we have is one of the top in the nation, and so we're just appreciative of the IHSVCA putting this on for our student athletes.
And the cool thing is that all these ladies are top notch, and you had over 70 kids that participated in the North and the South to make this All-Star team. It's hard to pick 14 kids.
Oh, that's incredibly tough. I mean, we are so talented. I know that was a tough job. We had record numbers who were nominated by their coaches, high school coaches, for this, and picking this team was no easy task by any means.
Talk a little bit about now what you're doing. You're not in Indiana anymore. You're no longer the AD at Heritage Christian. You're at Lipscomb. Explain to the fans how you follow volleyball in the state of Indiana, because I know one of the reasons how you follow Indiana.
Well, you know, once it's in your blood, it never leaves, and so I've certainly kept up with it. Coached at Heritage Christian, as many know, for 16 years, and they were fortunate enough to make it to the state championship and bring home a championship this year. You know, I just love what Indiana does for volleyball, and I love volleyball. I'm at Lipscomb Academy now in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm working as the associate head of school there and director of athletics, and but Heritage and Indiana will always be in my heart.
And she loves Indiana SRN. Hard to blend.
That is without a doubt. That is without a doubt.
Michelle, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. State volleyball coming up your way. The 1A, 2A All-Star game this afternoon around 2:30. And don't forget then at around 4 o'clock is the 3A, 4A game right here on Indiana SRN. If you'd like to know more about Indiana SRN, you can contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Would be happy to talk to you. If you're a volleyball coach out there and you want your kids to be on internet TV or on internet radio, contact us as well. It's coach@indianasrn.org. We're going to be walking around throughout the day, get some interviews, but this time we're going to take a break. We're about 15 minutes away from game number 2 right after this. You're watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
If you find yourself confronted by unwanted pests in your home or office, then you need to contact the professionals at Kim Mountain Pest Control. We offer quality pest control solutions at an affordable price. We specialize in ants and termites. We're also available to handle a variety of other pests, including roaches, fleas, and flying insects, as well as rats and mice. Don't wait until pests cause severe damage to your home or property. Contact the team of experts at Kim Mountain Pest Control today.
Gail Gripes back with us. Your All-Star team won this thing.
Yes, we did. That was wonderful.
Who is the dog, and what's the significance?
This is Sophie, and she is a therapy dog. She's my dog and comes to school with me at Lafayette Jeff High School every day. And we work with the students that are there, and teachers and guests and whoever else needs some fun and help and loving and all that.
Sophie gets a medal. I don't get a medal. Sophie gets a medal.
She does get a medal. That was surprising to me. But I coach the boys at Jeff now, and she travels with us and is used to the noise in the gym and the camaraderie and all this other kind of commotion. And so she just really loves this.
Talk about the growth of this game from where you started. I remember 10, 12 years ago, this was not a thing. Now this is huge. Talk about the growth of the game and how talented not only the juniors, but our sophomore class is incredible as well.
Well, I was very, very impressed. I mean, these kids were in 5th grade when I retired from coaching, right? So the caliber of their skills, the ability to know the game and come together as a group and play well, I think it just is marvelous. And a credit to the girls, a credit to the high school coaches, a credit to the club coaches, and the desire for these kids just to get better. Wonderful.
The volleyball IQ of these kids, you talk about that, it's because these kids are in the gym. Some of these kids are two athletes, basketball, volleyball, or track and field, but most of these kids spend a lot of time on the volleyball board. The club scene is incredible as well.
The club scene has grown tremendously, and I will admit to you that I am a proponent of multi-sport athletes. But I think that, for kids who have picked a sport and selected a sport, they should be able to play and are playing club, but they ought to be able and encouraged to play other sports in their high school as well. But I think that the experience has probably fed into the ability for these kids to come in at this level and play well. I would say many times how I would love to have my guys, and I can now that you're on TV, watch what the juniors were doing. The defense, their offense, and the fact that, like I said, kids from different schools are coming together and can play so effortlessly, and it was just really nice.
Indiana SRN, we've broadcast a lot of these games this year on web TV and internet radio. Our expansion, now we want to grow. We think there's a growth market for that, and if coaches are out there that want to hire us to do that, we would be more than happy to do that. But you think that there's a benefit for your kids to see that? Because what's really fun is covering some teams and then to go back home and watch this game.
Oh, absolutely. And I think watching yourself on film is a great teacher. Because coaches can say, oh, do this, do that, do this, and here's this. But when you see it and you can play it again and again, it helps the athletes learn. And so many of the kids today are visual learners, and so this is a wonderful avenue for them to, not only watch themselves, but also to get the word out around the state about what's happening here in high school.
Technique is very important, and that's one of these things about the film. We wish you lots of luck. Congratulations. Glad to meet the dog.
Thank you. Sophie's glad to be here, too.
Sophie's really excited. You can tell she's an Indiana SRN fan. We'll take a break. When we come back, Coach Gene will be joining us. You're watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Parents, do you like free food? Hike it on over to Prodigy Burger Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Hello. My name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Thanks to Rick McIntyre and McIntyre Imaging for their support of Christian radio and sports. Their service is capturing moments in time and images that provide a record of the celebrations, blessings, and gifts the Lord has given. McIntyre Imaging Products gives their clients a snapshot of life for family and future generations. You may reach Rick and his staff at McIntyre Imaging at www.mcintyreimaging.com.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Love fest. It's a love fest down here as Jean is hugging all kinds of people. She's running for president, right?
No.
You are already president of this great association.
I'm just very blessed. Michelle York and I co-founded this, and yeah, it says the president behind my name, but it's just a team effort. Everything's a team effort.
The banquet we covered on Indiana SRN, incredible numbers. The state finals were incredible. And now this event, this is the third year we've covered this, one on internet radio, now twice on web TV. The response we get is over and over again, is continue to do stuff like that. You got to be really happy at the results of all the partnerships that are around you.
Absolutely. If you're not, then you're missing the boat, because volleyball is the #1 team sport for girls in the country. 23 states, #1. Indiana, #1 team sport. We're behind track and field as far as the numbers. But one thing a lot of people in Indiana don't understand, Indiana volleyball is one of the tops in the country as far as the number of athletes that go on and play at the next level.
I just been told in my ear that we had more viewers watching that game than we watched the whole entire game last year, which means our numbers for the next 2 games will be even more high. Indiana SRN is excited about that, but that partnership that we've developed over the years, and you've got us in some high schools that a lot of people never know that they had volleyball, and now they're even better than ever before.
Amen. I think what happens is the sport is good. Let's tell everyone that it's a sport to play. So young athletes, female athletes, who want to play this sport. You can do more than one sport. I'm a proponent of playing more than one sport. But give volleyball a chance. It's so fast, it's quick, and you don't have to run lines up and down all the time. So that's where we got a couple kids. One I was just hugging. You know, Dad was Indiana All-American, not All-American, Indiana All-Star. And she chose volleyball because you didn't have to run as much. So.
Yeah, I never like to run either. Let's talk a little bit what's next for the association. There's a lot more that you want to do for the game. What is some things that you're working on the next couple of years to get this even better?
Well, I think we need to get a little bit more. We have to do some training with our coaches. There's a lot of young coaches. Obviously, there's a turnover every year, but it's a year-round sport, coaching volleyball in Indiana. Is to help train them, put them things online. I'm working with Pete Shanahan at the IHSA. He said, Gene, we'll help our broadcast team, our broadcast student, our kids in my office will help you produce these videos, and we can put them online, and everyone that's in your association can watch. So they do this with the AVCA. By the way, we're an affiliate member of the AVCA and American Volleyball Coach Association, where they have the videos going out all the time. They're hitting really pretty hard. We might want to watch out.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit at all. The other thing is you're working with the officials. I noticed that you got top-notch officials. You're working with those officials along with coaching to get the game better, because it's all about sportsmanship. We got to teach our kids, and more importantly, we got to teach our parents about sportsmanship.
I think one thing you're going to find, at least talking to people at the IHSA, volleyball people are pretty tame. I mean, I watch basketball, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I watch football from the side, oh my goodness. But volleyball, and in fact, I talked to one of the assistant commissioners, if you have any trouble with the coach, let me know. Well, we don't have any trouble with any coaches. You know, occasionally if, someone likes to call double a lot, I think I get that from club. But volleyball is just a little bit more tamer than the other sports. So yes, we do have to address that, but I think we could be role models for all the other sports on behavior with the fans, the parents, and of course on the players on the court.
Thank you so much, Gene. Appreciate it. We'll take a break. Jimmy Cook and Brooke Binky will be next on Indiana SRN.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. Ah, my favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
I think the best thing that our ministry offers is that when the women come in and they are pregnant and they've reached our scan dates, which are 6 weeks, 4 days to 14 weeks, we're able to image them with ultrasound.
Seeing the image on the screen and hearing a heartbeat clarifies that it is truly life and not just a clump of cells.
You know, you can see babies sucking their thumbs, you can see them running their hands over their head.
It shows them what God is doing on the inside that they don't feel or don't even think is real, but they see a real image of a real baby on the screen.
It just breaks my heart when a woman, no matter what her circumstances are, that she decides to end that intrauterine pregnancy, that she decides that she's better to go on her own without that baby.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. As we continue the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Sunday here on Indiana SRN. Hi again, everybody. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, but not the coach you're used to. This time, the coach, Brooke Binky, joining us for our broadcast here for the 1A and 2A Senior All-Star Games and the 3A and 4A All-Star Games. Coach, thanks so much for taking some time in what should be an off-season period for you now, but thanks for taking some time to talk with us today.
Yeah, I'm excited. First time for this, but watched a lot of volleyball, so hopefully I'll give some good insight on the game.
From your perspective as a coach, and specifically focusing on Covenant Christian for a second, a strong way to close the year for you guys, looking forward to another competitive year at a Circle City Conference that, as we kind of talked about off air, is filled with talent from top to bottom, and you guys are excited for next season as well for Covenant Christian.
Yeah, we should have a really strong team returning, a lot of players playing club, and just doing anything in the off season is really helpful. But yeah, we finished the season against Cecina really strong, and I think that was kind of a good sense of hope for us moving into the next two seasons. So we have a strong 2 years ahead of us, I think.
A number of different teams that you have seen on our Indiana SRN broadcast, players I should say, throughout our Indiana SRN broadcast this season, featured throughout the day today. We saw some of that from the likes of Lucia Casaro and Elizabeth Phillips in our junior broadcast that we had for you last hour. Of course, the main ones looking out on the senior roster, Olivia Valentine from Heritage Christian, Madison Varialt from Cecina Memorial, to name two there. So a good sense of where the players in the conference can be at their pinnacle, a good place for the likes of Coach Binky, where she wants her players to hopefully be next season and the years to come. But all in all, as we selfishly look at the Circle City Conference for a second, there's health across the state for volleyball, but there's a lot of healthy, strong teams in the Circle City Conference specifically.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of players here today in the Circle City Conference, but also just the Central Indiana volleyball is growing and just doing so well, and the talent level that we compete against in the Circle City Conference and just in Central Indiana is just so high and pretty impressive, which is fun to play against.
When you look at this event, this is the second year Indiana SRN has been here. For the players, it's almost like I do a lot of work on the AAU level for basketball, and the first time you see those teams hit the floor in the spring, it looks sloppy at times because there's a lot of talent on the floor, but it's the first time that you've seen them work as a connected unit. How hard is that at this level in an all-star game to build that chemistry on the fly?
It's really hard. They get about an hour and a half of practice. I think that what I told the players and then when I coached this and what I heard the other coaches say is just communication is key, and you have to talk so much because you've never played next to a lot of these players before. You might have played against them, but it's not the same as playing next to them. So it's very difficult just to gain that chemistry so fast. But because they're also strong players, hopefully their talent will outweigh a little bit of that lack of chemistry. But I think that the first couple of points are going to be a little awkward, but then once they start scoring points and celebrating it, it becomes fun.
Now, we talked with Coach Myers a little bit for the first game about the fact that with the All-Star game, there isn't a libero at play. How does that change where your strategy's at?
I think that sometimes they will still run someone in the back row for both of the middles, just not in the libero jersey. But I think that you have to have more DSs and just more subs instead of counting on one person to be your defensive player.
That is Coach Brooke Binke. I'm Jimmy Cook. We'll be with you all afternoon into the early evening hours celebrating the seniors here at the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Weekend. You're going to step out briefly. When we come back, we'll go through a little bit of our keys to this matchup for these two All-Star teams, as well as a rundown of the rosters. All that and much more after this. It's the 1A, 2A North versus South All-Star game, and it's coming up next on Indiana SRN.
Our family has been very happy working with Wallflower Pictures,
because they make sure that I get the acting skills that I need in this industry and the education that I need.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about his growth, and they're very professional and attentive to our needs.
And I truly believe in the projects I've worked on, like For the Boys and The Walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Brooke Binke for the 1A, 2A North-South All-Star Game. 3A, 4A to follow. Let's dive in and take a look at both these roster sheets, starting first with the North All-Stars. Number 1 from Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian, Catherine Zolman. Number 2 from Wapahani, Olivia Smith. Number 3 from Boone Grove High School, Cindy Dixon. Number 4 from Winnemac Community, Taylor Jennings. Number 5 from Franklin High School, Aaliyah Rastetter. From Wabash High School, Haley Faust. From Carroll Flora High School, number 7, Kelsey Hammond. From Franklin High School, number 8, Catherine Sperry. Leah Scherner from South Newton High School, number 9. Number 10 from Fairfield High School, Madeline Gothrop. Number 11 from Covington Community, Lauren O'Neill. Switching over to the South All-Stars from Cecina Memorial, number 1, Madison Berryalt. Number 2 from Trinity Lutheran, Hannah Zabotin. Number 3 from Heritage Christian, Olivia Valentine. Number 4 from South Spencer, Brianna Adamson. Also from South Spencer, number 5, Alec Bernay Stormer. From Lytton Stockton, number 6, Avery Walton. From Tecumseh High School, number 7, Chloe Holder. From Hauser High School, number 8, Kylie Locke. From Park Tudor, number 9, Lily Sumner. Also from Park Tudor, number 10, Zoe Franz. Sydney Tucker, number 11. Number 12 from Southmont High School, Alex Nelson. Number 13 from Hagerstown High School, Reagan Tinkle. Also from Hagerstown High School, number 14, Jessica Swim. And we already mentioned Sydney Tucker, number 11, in the middle to late numerical addition to the program, even though she was on the roster. That information relayed to us late on these programs for the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association. Those are your roster sheets for this second of 3 matches that we'll broadcast for you today here on Indiana SRN. Again, as we mentioned, as we bring Coach Binke back into the fray, Coach, it's not only the players on the floor that are having to manufacture the chemistry there, but going inside your mind for a second in the mind of the coaches that are on the floor, this is also your first time or their first time working with these players. You know, season-long campaign, you're implementing strategy because you know the strengths of your team. How much of it is maybe little basic elements of strategy here and there, but for the most part, just letting them go out there and play?
Yeah, I think for the most part, you just let them play, give them some simple tips, just trying to keep it as simple as possible because they don't know your language, they don't know your what tools you usually tell your team. So keeping it simple, but also just giving them some pointers if you're noticing any common trends that are happening.
And on the side of the juniors that we already saw today, where do you have your mindset at, knowing that, you know, the action on the floor right now, maybe some of these are teammates or adversaries or, you know, different, you know, friends that you've seen on the travel circuit, but this is their last time taking the hardwood at the high school level. As a junior, I've still got a whole year ahead of me. Where is your mindset at as the juniors and then the seniors that are on the floor? Do you feel like there's more appreciation there, especially if you're a two-time All-Star, going from junior to senior?
I think so. I think the juniors sit and watch, and they want to be in these senior shoes next year. They feel what it's like this year. And then knowing that this could be their last high school volleyball game, I think that it is really exciting for them. The seniors is just exciting for them to know that this is their last high school. That most of them probably play Cub, but representing your high school and playing the high school Indiana volleyball is just a big difference.
A quick note to Sydney Tucker, number 11 in your programs, hailing from Springs Valley Community High School. We're going to mention that through our starters when we got things rolling today for the roster sheet. So make a note of that for your programs. We're all just about set and ready to go. The North All-Stars and South All-Stars huddling up. The North, of course, will be in the blue jerseys that you saw in that first game if you were watching then, or if you're just joining us now. The South All-Stars in the traditional red jerseys for this setup. Should be a fun time, and we mentioned it, Coach, that volleyball across the state really at high health and high strength. You mentioned that you graduated in 2011. Where have you seen the sport? Obviously, you were out at the college level, too, so maybe not seeing it as close, but where have you seen the sport kind of transform over the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I think it's just a faster game. The middles are utilized a lot more now than when I was in high school, and I think that just the level of play that the hitters play at is just unreal compared to what it used to be. Much faster game.
Leah Ratsetter serving the first of the game. And it'll be a point for the North. Play in front of the net. Advantage goes to the North All-Star. The North All-Star junior team taking that first match 2-0. So the North on top of things early. Could essentially clinch, not that there's any award for that, but could clinch the North being the dominant side of the All-Star teams with a win here. A ricochet off that block leads to a kill for the South. And this one early going, shaping up the same way our first game did. Both teams kind of feeling each other out at the same time. Both teams trying to figure out what they have on the floor.
Yeah, you kind of have to watch the other side, but also watch your own because you don't know who's going to play what ball and pick up what ball on your side.
Rastetter sets up a nice spike on the outside by Madeline Gothrop out of Fairfield High School. Makes it 2-1. Coach, from an aspect of, passing it, whether you're passing with the bump or whether or not you're, setting up a player, how much of that from a fundamental perspective is easy to get on the fly versus the timing that might be a little harder to develop in an all-star game like this?
Yeah, I think especially the setter passer timing. You have to get a feel for how quick the passers are going to be, so you have to get in position to set your hitters up. And then the setter-hitter timing is also something you work on all season, all summer, so it's hard to do in one day.
3-1 to the North, and that play on the outside, a shot by Reagan Tinkle, just missed getting over the net, makes it 4-1, all North early. From the aspect of, you mentioned the timing, how it's hard to do in a day, but you also mentioned really just an hour and a half of practice, so you're even getting less time than that to try to manufacture that on the fly.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of communication between the hitters and the setters, a lot of honest communication, not getting offended by where they want the ball. That was a great set by Varial to Tinkle. The first one was a little bit far outside, but that was right where she wanted it.
And you'll notice as the game goes on for sure that timing will get a little bit better on both sides. Hannah Sabona let serve that is going to be countered by the North. Nice diving save there by Barryalt. And play continues. Nice finesse shot. Adjusting, Barryalt faked the set and then went down with a one-handed kill.
Barryalt is a great setter. She can be offensive. She's an incredible blocker, but you don't see out of setting a lot.
It's a Bowton service. Goes outside as the North to Gothrop. Barryalt again in the play. That was partially blocked. Good reflexes there by Tinkle, but the North powers through for the kill.
Great hustle already. You can see some hesitation on who's going to pick up those balls that aren't necessarily the ones that are your typical balls off the net, off the dig.
we mentioned timing on passes, but you'll see when you're in a cohesive unit over the course of a whole season, you know when maybe your back line is going to make a dive for a play. You know to get out of the way. How critical, as another ace there by the South, how critical is communication at that point? Because we harp on it when teams go on runs in the regular season. They're not talking enough. Well, now you can't have passive personalities in an all-star game. You have to be vocal about everything.
Yeah, you have to talk constantly. Know when you're going to get it, when you're not. You have to communicate about everything, or you're just going to let the ball drop, and no one wants to see that in this match.
Soft float shot there by Catherine Sperry.
Yeah, that was a great placement. A double block leaves that spot right there in that zone open. Hard to pick up from the right back.
Taylor Jennings with the service. Received on the back line. Play in front of the net is just down. Give that to Alexa Renee Stormer, my apologies. And it'll give Reagan Tinkle from Hagerstown High School serving duties. Counter attack by the North. Shot is out. Make that blocked and down for the South. And they've gone a little bit of a run to tie things up at 6.
Swim for Hagerstown typically, I think, plays outside, but she's playing right side right now. Puts up a strong block.
Do you expect adjustments like that, more or less a coach feeling what the strengths are, or the players communicating beforehand, hey, this is where I'd like to be on this situation? I know you're still rotating, but where does that come from?
Yeah, I think the coaches, I talked to the coaches a little bit before, trying to put the best matchups against the other side and recognize that Swim has a great block and also a great swing. But I think the players have to be willing to be flexible in a game like this with so much talent.
Run continues for the South. They now lead 7-6. They'll try to counter for another point. Good dig there by Smith. Get it back over to Smith. Now Tinkle outside, floating shot. Nice dive there by Faust. Another dive there. The South answers one of their own. Rally continues. Good balance on this entire rally. North goes outside to Franz. And it's a violation. Who's it against? It's against the South. A little contact with the net there. We really talked about as well, Coach, in that first game that the officials, they're not checking for rotation or who's in or out, and they're letting things play for the most part. The one thing they have been very consistent on, though, has been net violations. That's been the main thing, the focal point, if you will, of their job today. Yeah,
I think that for the most part they want to see them play, but protecting the net, that also protects injuries, so they got to cover that.
South got slightly out of position there. North take advantage. They regain the lead now 8-7. Catherine Sperry serves up. Counter strike, just rode the line. Nice shot there by Zoe Franz out of Cartutor.
Alexis Nelson with the kill, point South All-Stars. And for the South, number 2, Hannah Sabonin. Now serving number 8, Kylie Locke.
Correction on that. That's Alexis Nelson out of Southmont High School on the outside. As play continues.
Leah Schreiner, point, North All-Stars.
Point for the North.
Number 2,
They've scored the last 3, make that 2 rather. And Lauren O'Neill checks in for the North. Outside shot is down. Hannah Sabotin out of Trinity Lutheran.
She had a great match in the state finals for Trinity Lutheran. She kept her team in it, did very well. She's a strong middle hitter.
Overhand service there. And that one just out. Lauren O'Neill went full speed there with it, but just airmailed it a tad. Makes it 10-9, South lead. So again, just like the first set of the junior all-star game, back and forth, both these teams exchange punches. Trying to figure out where their strength lies. The North found it in their second set, and there's a play in the front of the net by Lauren O'Neill.
Lauren O'Neill with the block. Point, North All-Stars. In for
You're not going to be short on athleticism, Coach, in this one.
No.
Especially playing in front of the net.
Hopefully not going to see a lot of unforced errors this high level of game.
Error on the serve there by the North, so the South will take the 3-point.
Now serving number 10, Alexis Nelson.
Nelson, we mentioned, out of Southmont High School. Nice finesse shot there by Dixon. Counter strike is down for the kill by Reagan Tinkle. Tinkle full speed on that one.
Yeah.
No surprise there, seeing many of those from her throughout her campaign with Hagerstown.
No team has been successful with the soft shot yet, but are putting the ball away from the hard hits.
Well, quick adjustments on the fly for sure. If your floating soft shot, as you mentioned, there isn't there. Why not go with the heat? As once again, that's Tinkle.
She is headed to University of Georgia to continue her volleyball career.
Here was her dad. Service by the South. Counter strike by the North is received by the South All-Stars. They'll go once again to Tinkle. That one was an off-balance shot. She's playing in front of the net, trying to block it. Nice overhand shot by O'Neal. Tinkle again. That one's down for her as well off the ricochet. Powered through the block.
She's a dynamic hitter. She's hitting cross and then also towards the line off the block. She can put the ball wherever she wants.
And the South starting to realize their point getter, at least early on, is Tinkle. Feeding her, scoring the last 3 points for the South. Service by Nelson. And a timeout taken by the North. We'll take one as well. 15-10 all South here. A little bit of a run on Indiana SRN.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Welcome back to Jack Keefer Gymnasium. 15-10, the South on top of the North as service begins for Alexis Nelson. Let's toss it over to our sideline reporter. It's the coach, Keith Myers. Coach, is one thing that we've been stressing all season long. It's about the job the officials do, and of course the never-ending need for more officials to partake.
And we do need officials. We need good officials. And if you're interested or you're watching these officials in the white jerseys tonight, and you're going to contact the Indiana High School Athletic Office about officiating, all you have to do is be 18, a graduate of high school. You take a test, they'll train you, they'll put you on the floor, and they'll get you ready to go. And you know, one day maybe you'll be doing an all-star game or a state championship game. So contact the Indiana High School Athletic Association. It's about sportsmanship, it's about officials, and we need good officials. Back up to you guys. By the way, good job, Brooke.
Thank you very much, Coach. That's the coach, Keith Myers. His very busy basketball schedule he's had these last couple weeks. Take a little break from the volleyball action. Coach will be all over the place for us this afternoon and this evening, getting interviews as you saw in between games. So we return to live action. Another kill there for the South. Guess who? Reagan Tinkle. Only been on a tear so far for the South his last couple of points. It was at one point 10 all, been 9 unanswered for the South. That finally stops there. The North regained their footing. They'll return the service. Catherine Sperry checks back in for the North. So does Hallie Foss. She'll serve as well out of Wabash High School. Overhand service. Received by the back line. They'll go to Tinkle again. Why not? Powered through another block.
She can jump, and she just has so much power. She is being very successful for the South.
And we talked about how hard the timing is. Clearly, that's not that hard right now anyway. Just set it up within the arm's length of Tinkle, and she'll do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
That service, almost an ace, a low serve, partially blocked. North are going to have to make a play on that to chase it down. One hit to get it over, they do. Tinkle's there on the bump. They go on the back row. That shot by Sabotin just a tad off. Makes it 20-12. North in a similar position where the South were in the deciding set last game, where it's a pretty big gap right now. Again, these are races to 25. Best of 3, unlike the traditional varsity level being a best of 5. But 2 unforced errors there will help the North. That's how they scored their last 2 points, back within 7.
Yeah, miscommunication between those hitter-setters. Not knowing what you're running is hard off of serve receive when you're not used to these players.
That time they go to Tinkle, but she went wide of it. And, Coach, we mentioned how hard the communication is in general, getting your timing down. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to have down, if you want to win at this all-star session, you need to have down, hey, this is mine. Hey, who's in position where? That's very critical to have that basic fundamental down, and it's hard to manufacture everything else, but you should still be able to have the communication.
Yeah, you should still know they all play the same zones or play the specific defense, and they should all know those fundamentals.
Point there for the South brings them 4 points away from taking set 1. That's an unforced error, a little bit of miscommunication, but also a solid serve that time on the ace by Berryalt. Came at such an angle that off that initial dig attempt, it just went flat. Berryalt again. North ready for it this time. Play in front of the net is down for a kill. Catherine Sperry there.
Yeah, just not in the right position. Got to protect your line on the left back defense. And she pulled a little bit too far away from her line on that.
Taylor Jennings serving. They'll go to Tinkle again. Tinkle looks a tad higher on that last spike. Could have been the angle. I could be misjudging it, but they've utilized her quite a bit in this first set. That play in front of the net, unforced error. Hammond just couldn't get enough up on the jump. Brings the South 2 points away. We mentioned the workhorse so far has been Reagan Tinkle. It's now her turn in the rotation for the service.
Now serving number 13, Reagan Tinkle.
Running jump serve. Gets it over. See the counter by the North. That one's partially blocked and unable to get over there with Tinkle. Tough distance for her to close there, and she'll get a breather, rightfully so. They'll sub her out.
Number 3, Olivia.
And Cindy Tucker comes back into the South.
Number 3, Cindy Dixon.
Got that ball right there in the middle. It's a tough one to pick up. You practice a lot on teams, but it's just never an easy ball right off that block in the middle.
Catherine Solman subbing in and serving. North down by 7. Nice finesse shot there to guide it right where she wanted it. That was Stimmer there on the shot out of South Spencer. Sometimes those shots, the way they change the direction it's going, it looks so easy, but it's a very difficult shot to hit.
Yeah, it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination and ball control to put it where you want it.
Set point for the South. North trying to create a little bit of a rally. South trying to end set 1 here. They'll set up a shot that's just out. Nelson went for the set ender.
Oh, they called a touch?
Excuse me, they did say that was tipped after a brief conference. Good eye there, Brooke. They're going to say that was touched by the North, and so it belongs to the South in this first set. 25-16 winners. We're going to step away. When we come back, we'll have the second set. Could be a deciding one. Remember, it's best of 3. North vs. South All-Star Game, 1A, 2A on Indian SRN.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. Ah, my favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
My favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
I think the best thing that our ministry offers is that when the women come in and they are pregnant and they've reached our scan dates, which are 6 weeks, 4 days to 14 weeks, we're able to image them with ultrasound.
Seeing the image on the screen and hearing a heartbeat clarifies that it is truly life and not just a clump of cells.
You know, you can see babies sucking their thumbs, you can see them running their hands over their head.
It shows them what God is doing on the inside that they don't feel or don't even think is real, but they see a real image of a real baby on the screen.
It just breaks my heart when a woman, no matter what her circumstances are, that she decides to end that intrauterine pregnancy, that she decides that she's better to go on her own without that baby.
Is with us, the head coach at Mount Vernon High School. You kind of like these all-star games, don't you?
Oh, I love it. There's so many girls that play now with so much talent. The state of Indiana's got 2,000 more girls that play volleyball than basketball. So seeing these athletes go at it, it's really a lot of fun.
Crazy that there were 70 people that tried out for both of these teams. You have to cut it down to 14. That's kind of tough to do, Coach. You've done that before.
It is really tough because there were even more that were nominated to get to the tryouts. So getting to tryouts is an honor, and then making this is just super special.
It's been a good year for you guys at Mount Vernon, but you play in a really tough sectional. I think the number 1 team, number 2 team, and number 3 team was in that sectional. It's kind of tough to get out of that sectional.
It is, and they're in our conference also. So we're used to seeing that kind of. I mean, we ended up number 5 ranked. So it's fun to play that kind of competition. You just have to pull off an upset and play the match of your life to be able to beat some of those teams. I think Newcastle's ranked number 5 in the nation, so they got a lot of power.
If you haven't been to watch Mount Vernon volleyball, it's happening because every night you play a top 10 team, and the conference is not any easier. So it's been a lot of fun for you.
It has. First thing we did when I got in there is we got the toughest competition possible, and let's see where the cards fall against those guys.
2 years ago when we did a broadcast, one of the things you said is you got to be the best. You got to beat the best, and you guys done that at Mount Vernon.
Thanks. It was a really special year for us this year. Surprised a lot of people. Went up to the Purdue camp, first time ever. Knocked off Providence, McCutcheon, all those powerhouses. So that gave him the confidence this year to make that special year.
And he didn't gray his hair at all. It's still the natural blonde that he is. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you.
Back up to you guys, Jimmy.
Thank you so much, Coach. That's Coach Keith Myers. He'll have interviews for us all throughout the day into the early evening hours. Jimmy Cook alongside another coach, the coach Brooke Binke, coming to Christian High School. And we're back here to live action in the North-South 1A, 2A All-Star game. The South take the first set 25-16. It was, as you've seen on your screen, as high as 4-1 in favor of the North here in the second set. Right now it's 4-2 with the South regaining control of the service. Coach, has been a nice early going back and forth affair in that first set before the South finally found their sea legs, if you will, and extended things on a little bit of a run. You mentioned, as a former player, the competitive nature you have in your system, even still now as a coach. In an all-star game like this, after you drop that first set, even though it is, in a way, supposed to be fun, Coach Myers is quick to remind me that they're out there to win, too. What's that conversation like in that huddle, even though it is an all-star game, if you drop that first set?
I think that you still want them to enjoy the game, still want them to have fun, but I think that if they're working hard and with this level of talent, if they're having fun and doing their best, then they're going to come back. But ultimately, as a coach, I'd say we take set 2, whatever it takes.
Well, whatever was said with the North in between sets, it appears to have paid dividends. It's 6-2 right now. Largest lead of the session for the North, and that increases by 1, and that's an ace. Got a paw on that, did Kylie Locke. It's 7-2, all North.
Yeah, South defense hasn't been as strong this set. Similar players in there, just North's finding the floor.
Service by Jennings. That spike attempt by Sumner was blocked. North will counter. They go outside. Nice read there by Walton. They went outside with it to, I think that was Jessica Swim out of Hagerstown High School. It's the kill there. Brings them back within 4.
She replaces number 6, Aubrey Walton.
Quick subs.
Number 12, Zoe Brunts. Now serving.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, this is a nice end to the seniors, so everyone gets to play. Everyone's getting on the floor at some point, trying to win.
We mentioned a little bit in our opening segment on this broadcast, but it's a different level of emotions the last time you play a game for your school as a senior. Is there more or less of those, do you imagine, in an all-star game like this? Because there's significance here, right? It's the last high school event that you're going to partake in, at least that's official underneath the IHSVCA umbrella, underneath the Volleyball Coaches Association umbrella. How do those emotions differ?
I think that there's just more depth to the emotions when you're on your high school team because you have those relationships formed for so many years.
Right.
So I think the relationships that you have create deeper emotions, but this is kind of their ultimate high school volleyball game and match, so they want to go out playing well and having fun. I think that definitely some high emotions, just not as much at stake as what you have in the post-tournament in your high school team.
2 hits called against the North. That's a point for the South. They're back within 3, 8-5. North trying to get a little bit of momentum back in their favor. That shot is a kill. Nice play by Hannah Sabotin out of Trinity Lutheran. They're on a 4-1 run right now on the South All-Stars.
Both teams have been successful with the 31 shot, this shot that's towards the outside from a middle hitter. Both sides have utilized that well this game.
Sumner's service countered by the North. Now South will have an opportunity to answer. They go outside, blocked but out. Point for the South. Coach, from a game-by-game perspective, once you find something that clicks, maybe you might want to go to that all the time. We saw a lot of that in that first game when they were setting up Reagan Tinkle time and time again. How, from a coaching perspective or even on the fly as players, do you not let that be a cushion and not try to, keep the defense guessing on the other side of things?
Yeah, you have to mix it up a little bit so that they don't take away your best shot and kind of what we call camp out on that player. So as long as you move the ball around a little, you should be able to still score off of that key player.
When we talked about putting these teams together on the fly, does that also go back to communication in terms
Yes.
of the way that you're running things?
Yeah, communication between setter, hitter, knowing who your hot player is as a setter, but also knowing that you have to give other people the ball to kind of keep the other side on their toes.
Quick sub and a point for the South All-Stars. They're back within 1, 9-8.
Little confusion. You know your rotation like the back of your hand when you're in season.
Right.
But now you don't know who's next to you.
The crowd mic slightly picked that up. The coach was like, she said something to the effect, is that right? All right, whatever, it's fine. We'll just go.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have too many players out there. We'll just go.
As long as you have 6, they're good.
Right.
They're not checking rotations.
Exactly. Point for the North. They lead again by 2, 10-8. South again took that first set in this 1A, 2A All-Star game. 25-16 the final there. North trying to even this to a third set. Remember, it's a best-of-3 set play for the right to be called champions in your class's All-Star contest. As just like the deciding point that happened in that first set, it looked like maybe that was going to be out on the North, or excuse me, out on the South rather. They say the North made contact with that. So it's a point and a kill for the South. They're back within 1.
Now serving.
Our producer in my ear tells us that our scoreboard is right on cue. I went over the clock scoreboard in-house. So 11-8 currently, North by 3.
Lauren O'Neill with a kill point. North All-Stars. Back in for the North, number 8, Catherine Sperry.
Now we're ready to roll.
Catherine Zolman. Now serving number 3, Sydney.
And North on top 11-9. South try to counter off of Dixon's serve. That shot is wide of the mark.
North All-Star.
Yeah, Dixon's serve is really strong. Looks like it might be floating out, but it's dropping fast.
As a player, when they're practicing their serves, is any of that ability to change how the serve goes and how it kind of dies right there? How much of that is natural, and how does a player work on something like that if it's attainable at all?
Yeah, a lot of it is natural, but it is a lot about positioning in your hand and what your hand looks like when it contacts the ball. So you can teach that, but a lot of it is just athleticism, being able to get in the air high enough to put that ball.
So not all that much different. Maybe the athleticism is more there, but not all that much different from a pitcher changing grip style.
Yes.
As in a general practice, how much time are you devoting to any one area? Obviously, I know you're going to, maybe you look at the tape and be like, okay, we've struggled here. Let's work specifically on that. But as you're going early goings of the season, how much of it is serving, timing? How do you adjust things in practice as the season goes on?
At the beginning of the season, we spend a lot of time serve and pass. So serving, serve receiving, doing those basic skills, because if you can't do that, then that's the first line of any part of the game. So we spend a lot, I would say a good 20 minutes serving and serve receiving against the serve. Serving so mental, so if you don't focus a lot of time on doing it and figuring out how to do it in different strategies, then when you get to the game, you kind of forget, and it's kind of like a free throw. You have to not be able to think about it, just do it. So you have to do it a lot to get there.
Kill for the South. Back within striking distance, trailing by just 2. From the aspect of maybe potential incoming freshmen that are watching this broadcast, or freshmen and sophomores watching there, what's the biggest aspect of making that jump from your grade school play to high school play, or maybe your travel team / freshman team to varsity that you see as maybe common? I mean, it's going to vary from program to program, but maybe errors or lack thereof that is needed to be taught to make the leap?
Yeah, I think just the pace of the game, knowing the rotations and knowing when kind of different positions. In middle school, a lot of times you'll play like whatever position you're standing in, that's the position you play in. So getting them to understand just kind of like that volleyball knowledge is a huge curve from 8th grade to high school, but then also just the pace of the game. A lot of middle school is very slow, and in high school it picks up quite a bit. It's hard to teach that. Game experience is helpful over the summer, but teaching that is just kind of getting them in the gym and getting them used to that different feel from the pace of the game.
We'll stay here. 15-14 the score. It is a 1-point advantage now for the South as they've gone on a little bit of the run, as we understand that our coach, the great Keith Myers.
With us now is the head coach at Park Tudor High School. Pat, you've been watching this All-Star game. What do you think?
A lot of fun to see the kids culminate for their careers after everything is done, and see their parents for one last time. And after our last banquet, we had a hard time getting rid of some of those senior parents, and so for them to have this one more day is kind of fun for them.
It's bittersweet, though, because now they get to go. Now they have to grow up, and they got to go somewhere else and play. And now they'll come back and watch you guys play and say, Coach, if you did this, this, and this, they'll help you with your coaching now.
You would like to hope so, yeah. I do steal a lot of kids' drills from other schools, if at all possible, to say what works for them and what works for them. So.
Hey, it's been a pleasure covering your games this year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Coach. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach at Covenant Christian, Brooke Binke. 16-14 the score, advantage South All-Stars. They trailed 7-2. They've outscored North 14-7. Make that 14-8 down the stretch. And the South starting to pull away a little bit, gain a little bit of traction. North, though, trying to keep this within arm's length and force a deciding third set. Late adjustment there by the South. That'll take a shot off the top of the net. Come back in play. And a nice line drive shot there by the North. Ties us at 16. It's a race for these final 9 points. Remember, first to 25, win by 2. And again, not your everyday high school varsity match where it's a best of 5. These are all best of 3. So the South would like to clean things up and call it a sweep. The North would like to force a third game. And that was a nice serve in between 2 defenders there. Just barely rode the back line.
Yeah, those float serves, it looks like it's coming out, but they tend to drop. And they're very hard to serve receive against.
From what fans might not notice as they're watching a game, Coach, how often are you communicating to your servers before they're actually setting up their serving motion where they want to direct a shot?
Yeah,
Is that every serve?
Yeah, between every serve we call the zone or the area that we want to do, intentionally just trying to put the best serve in place so that we can keep them out of system.
From the aspect of where that kind of changes, how much of that is the scouting that you're doing in the lead up to that? And I guess a lot of that burden is on the coach's shoulders.
Yes,
setting up that game plan and then deciding, hey, this is where we want to go with it in this particular zone at this particular point in the match.
Yeah, most of that is scouting. You look at serve receive errors, their stats on the other team, and then also off film who is the least likely to make the best pass. And that's kind of where you go off of, and I give that to my assistant coaches because they're the ones that call the serve zones.
It was 16-15, but it's been 4 straight by the North. And now they're suddenly back in the driver's seat with Taylor Jennings serving. South trying to recreate one more run of their own. They go back over to Reagan Tinkle, who's been so critical. Block in front of the net. That one was Tinkle and Sabotin tag teaming there for the point. They're back within 2.
Yeah, the ball didn't really leave that side of the net, so it's kind of easy for them to set up their block.
When you're throwing these teams together, is it harder to get timing down from blocks like that and knowing where everybody's going to be, avoiding contact with the net, or would you say it's harder with the passes?
I would say harder with the passes. Yeah, blocking is kind of something they do all the time, and it doesn't take.
Nice kill there by Alexis Nelson.
Yeah, she's a strong player. It doesn't take a lot of. You kind of have to know when you're going to jump against another blocker, but for the most part, I would say the passing's more difficult.
Louis Franz serving from Park Tudor. Play there by Hammond. It'll be a point to the South, though. So they've tied it at 19. They got their run. That's the first one of these final 6 points. Again, a win by 2. Blocked at the net, and a violation called against the North. So unforced error is kind of hurting the North here these last couple of points. North redirect, they go the opposite way with it. Nice play by the South and a diving effort there. They'll redirect on their counterattack. Soft shot, quick reflexes, and they're not going to get it over. That's 4 hits. High-paced reflexes on both sides there.
Yeah, nice defensive plays, keeping the ball alive. South had the opportunity to finish on a free ball play, but just that setter-hitter timing is hard, especially hard for the middle hitter.
They were tied at 20 briefly, but that's an ace for the North.
Serve receive, these past few plays have been struggling on both sides. They're not able to really utilize their offense off of serve receive, some tough serves. And
Catherine Sperry that time the unforced error after the ace on that last serve, ties at 21. At this point in time, even in an all-star game, the game really does kind of shrink down, knowing how close each team is to closing things out.
Yeah, at this point, it's kind of a game of who can make the least amount of errors and find the floor.
Sumner's service, it's clean. Counter by the North is long. Was it deflected? No. Right for the South, 22-21. 3 points away from taking this 1A, 2A game, and if you're doing the aggregate of all these games, they tie it up with a victory for the North and South each across junior and senior classes. Another point there. Great play in front of the net by the South. 23-21, timeout taken by the North. We'll take one as well. South 2 points away from a clean sweep on Indiana SRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Welcome back to Lawrence North High School here at Jack Kiefer Gymnasium. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Brooke Binke of Covenant Christian High School. 23-21, South All-Stars lead, make it 24-21 on that unforced error, and it's match point now in the 1A-2A senior game.
Match point.
Lily Sumner, Park Tudor with the service. Win it for the South. North counter. Outside shot. It's a floating shot. Nice pancake there on the back line by Adamson. North now have to answer. They'll go outside again. Dixon, full speed. Ricochets out right near our area. And the North stay alive. 24-22.
Smith from Wapahani has played some great defense for the North. Kept that ball alive, and then they were able to finish.
They need every bit of her helps. Olivia Smith now serving. Awkward first shot. South need to get it over. They do. North will try to counter. They can go on the offensive again. Play in front of the net. Soft touch shot. It's out. And the South take the 1A-2A All-Star game. Winners 25-22.
25-16, 25-22.
Coach, by far that second set, you could feel a lot closer in terms of the talent that's on the floor. After all, this is an all-star session. But the South just a tad too much, way too much in that first set, and then really stumbled a couple times, but got their bearings in the second set to close out a clean sweep.
Yeah, the South, they were pretty offensive both sets and struggled a little bit in the second set, but were still able to bring it back. And they kind of just played cleaner there at the end versus the North. They'd had a few unforced errors.
And then I guess from the also just to wrap things up for the 1A-2A teams, you know that this is the end of the run for the players on the floor, but a nice way to close things out. For some, they'll still play collegiately. For those that are really passionate about the game, I'm sure they'll get involved in club sports at the next level they get to, but an end of a chapter and a nice way to honor both these 1A and 2A participants.
Yeah, whether you win or lose this match, it's an honor to be here. They had to be chosen from 70 or so athletes. So this is just a fun experience for them to get to coach under new coaches and play against players that maybe they see during the year and play with players. So it's an honor and it's a fun day whether you win or lose.
An earned process, as Coach mentioned, having to go through that tryout process, get to this stage, and then regardless whether you win or lose, she mentioned a great honor to have to end your high school career. Again, the South takes it 2-0, winning 25-16 set 1 and 25-22 in set number 2. That, of course, was the 1A-2A Senior All-Star Game. Don't go anywhere. About a half hour or so from now, maybe a little longer depending on the way they pace things here inside Jack Kiefer Gymnasium, we'll have the 3A-4A game. We're going to step away. When we come back, though, there'll be plenty of more content as our coach Keith Myers has more coaches and figures here at the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association High School All-Star Game. Stay with us. We'll have more after this on Indiana SRN.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old booty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
You won a state championship. You won an all-star game. What else are you? Do you have a new car or something ready to go? What?
Maybe. Hopefully I'm getting a new car or something. You never know. Maybe I should play the lottery.
We haven't talked since the state finals. How's the school been around? I know you've been really busy trying to get Thanksgiving break and all that, but the community's still pretty excited about the state championship.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely excited, especially with it being the first one for volleyball. So I think everyone's still excited and just kind of on that happy level because of that. So.
How about Michelle York coaching one of the all-star team? You get to coach the other one. It's a bittersweet.
Yeah, a little bit. It was nice to see her here, though, today.
Talk a little bit about off-season, because I know you're going to take some time off, but you go right back at it because you're ready to do it again, aren't you?
Yeah, we're ready to do it again. So our season for next year starts now, basically.
Hey, how about that? Nice medal. Congratulations. Job well done. Thank you. I know you don't like these, but thank you.
I do not. You're welcome. Thank you.
Going to take a break. We'll be back. Brooks laughing at you. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. You're watching Indiana SRN.
In today's fast-moving business world, effectively marketing your company takes hard work, creativity, and the right team. With over 40 years of experience, PIP has been enabling companies large and small to find success in achieving their business objectives. We understand the challenges our clients face. That's why we have a variety of print solutions suited to fit your every need. Whatever your printing request may be, from a quick turnaround on a company brochure for an upcoming trade show, a direct mail piece that needs to be designed, printed, and mailed, to complex marketing projects, PIP is sure to have the right print solution for you. Nothing grabs attention like a well-crafted sign. It can transform virtually any surface into an eye-catching experience, boosting your marketing appeal. From banners, posters, floor graphics, and window decals, to wayfinding and yard signs. We not only help with sign design and getting it installed, we also integrate them into your overall marketing strategy, designed to help you win. PIP also provides best-in-class integrated marketing solutions to help you make the most out of your next campaign. Our approach to marketing ensures that your strategy is seamlessly executed across all media, online and offline, so your business always looks its best. At PIP, we understand it takes a team to achieve business growth, and that's why we're here to help. Get to know PIP and let us make your world a better place.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Back with Olivia Valentine, player for Heritage Christian, won a state championship, won an all-star game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mom is with us as well. Mom, you kind of cool about this. You don't, nothing phases you.
It's very exciting. We're so happy for her.
Talk a little bit, we'll talk about you first, because she came down with an injury late in the season. It really kind of, you had to take a deep breath. What I know your faith walked you through that, but what else? What kind of encouragement did you make her? Because she played a well of the game in the state championship.
Well, we just kept telling her that, God has a good plan, and even though this seems like something that you can't really overcome, that we're believing that she'll be ready for the state. And she was, and just every day we just kept, we prayed over her every day, and we just all believed that we weren't going to do all of this, and then her senior year in the state game, she wasn't going to get to play. So it was really amazing.
Okay, did you order your ring yet? Have you ordered your state championship ring yet?
Oh, yeah. Big Dad and everything. Sized it.
Okay, so I haven't got sized yet, and Debbie hasn't got sized yet. So we're going to take your ring? Is that? No.
Maybe we can get you your own.
Maybe. Talk a little bit. What are you going to do in college? Where are you going to go to college? Have you decided to go to college? What are you going to do after school?
I do want to play in college. I'm not 100% where I'm going to go yet, but I do want to play. I know that for sure.
What was the biggest highlight of the whole entire season, other than the state championship? We almost got hit by a ball, but what's the highlight of your career?
No offense to HSC, but just beating them during our tournament, which was really big for the team. So
the team was young. You were the only senior as senior leader. So what do you tell these kids now? Because you're their mama now. You're the old veteran. What do you tell this team at your banquet? The encouragement that you tell them
that they're gonna do even better next year, and they're just gonna sweep it again. And then I'm proud of each and every single one of them. And they won't need me next year because they're all strong enough and they know what they're doing. So
appreciate your time.
Thanks.
We loved your daughter. It was a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit about the school. The school's been outstanding for you and Olivia, but faith-based, it's been a lot of fun, and the community is incredible.
Yes, she's been going to Heritage since she was in pre-K, so 13 years, and it's an amazing school, and they just have a really good program there.
Interesting thing, your husband watched games on the road on Indiana SRN, and he's emailed me a lot. And it's kind of interesting. We were an extension of that. Has it been a good thing for you, the whole entire family, to understand what we're doing?
Absolutely. And he has already watched the game. We taped it, the state game on SRN. He's watched it at least a dozen times.
I appreciate the pun. Thank you very much. Plug. I appreciate that. The Valentines, they're excited. They've got a state championship. She's got a gold medal. She's ready. She's high on campus. She's ready to go. We'll take a break. We've got a lot more in store for you in just a couple minutes. You're watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
If you find yourself confronted by unwanted pests in your home or office, then you need to contact the professionals at Kim Mountain Pest Control. We offer quality pest control solutions at an affordable price. We specialize in ants and termites. We're also available to handle a variety of other pests, including roaches, fleas, and flying insects, as well as rats and mice. Don't wait until pests cause severe damage to your home or property. Contact the team of experts at Kim Mountain Pest Control today.
With us now is Nick Cox. He's the head coach at Lawrence North High School, where we are, and he coordinated this building and all this through the athletic department. Hard work on your part to convince him, hey, we're going to play volleyball on Sunday.
It's worth it. Great day for volleyball.
Talk a little bit about the superintendent of Lawrence Central High School, Lawrence North High School, Lawrence Township, so to speak. done a nice job and believes in this, and he opens the door all the time for these kids to have an opportunity.
That's correct. Dr. Smith, I believe he's been here maybe 5-6 years. He's all about the kids. He supports the athletics. We have 2 high schools here, so he's just been a tremendous asset for our township. He loves athletes.
Talk a little bit about your ball club. You had a great year this year. Missed sectional championship, but boy, you guys have played really well, and you got some young talent as well. Talk a little bit about your team.
We play a very good schedule. We had some tough matches, but I thought we played well. We had a chance to win the county, and we also had a chance to win the sectional. So, that's what we asked. We came in second in the conference. Probably our signature win was beating Carmel this year.
He's very shy because he plays one of the toughest tournament seasons on record, and you guys are competing time out and time out. We were here for your Cathedral game a couple years ago, standing room only. It was incredible. That's the kind of volleyball every day in the conference that you play in.
Right. That Gene was still coaching Cathedral, and that team had about 10 D1 athletes, and we had some good players, and that was an epic 5-set match.
Okay, so now that the season's over, I know you got other duties in volleyball. What do you do every day? You just keep training kids to play volleyball. Done a nice job. How's your off-season look?
Well, basically, most of our kids play club volleyball, so I'm mostly involved with 8th graders. We have a feeder team out of this high school, so we started practice a couple weeks ago, and they'll be in the gym until May.
He's a good guy. He met me at the door at 9 o'clock this morning. Thanks, Coach.
You're very welcome.
We'll take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. The 4A Senior All-Star Game, 3A, 4A Senior All-Star Game is next on Indiana SRN.
Boron Homes is proud to present Briar Creek. Beautifully landscaped and maintained, today's manufactured homes provide durable, state-of-the-art housing at prices you can afford. Enjoy the tax benefits of owning, including lower property taxes, combined with easy maintenance of renting. Briar Creek, it's truly unique, the only 55-plus manufactured home neighborhood in the Indianapolis area. Located just east of I-465 on Pendleton Pike, near Fort Harrison State Park. Visit Briar Creek today.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? By traveling the world? Or by staying perfectly still? For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
In today's fast-moving business world, effectively marketing your company takes hard work, creativity, and the right team. With over 40 years of experience, PIP has been enabling companies large and small to find success in achieving their business objectives. We understand the challenges our clients face. That's why we have a variety of print solutions suited to fit your every need. Whatever your printing request may be, from a quick turnaround on a company brochure for an upcoming trade show, a direct mail piece that needs to be designed, printed, and mailed, to complex marketing projects, PIP is sure to have the right print solution for you. Nothing grabs attention like a well-crafted sign. It can transform virtually any surface into an eye-catching experience, boosting your marketing appeal. From banners, posters, floor graphics, and window decals, to wayfinding and yard signs. We not only help with sign design and getting it installed, we also integrate them into your overall marketing strategy, designed to help you win. PIP also provides best-in-class integrated marketing solutions to help you make the most out of your next campaign. Our approach to marketing ensures that your strategy is seamlessly executed across all media, online and offline, so your business always looks its best. At PIP, we understand it takes a team to achieve business growth, and that's why we're here to help. Get to know PIP and let us make your world a better place.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Hey, don't forget to check us out on Twitter at IndianaSRN. We're looking for our 1,000 follower. If you're the 1,000 follower, we have a $55 gift card for you to Aspen Creek Grill. Great food, great atmosphere. Hook us up at IndianaSRN. We're going to take a few-minute break. We're going to go away from the game here, but you won't miss a thing. We're going to wait a few minutes to start the warm-up clock as we're waiting for folks to come down from the southern part of the state so they will not miss it live, but you won't miss it live either. Stay with us, Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Available for you at the front table. Listed are the players and their jersey numbers, their positions, their future schools, and also the names of both their parents. Check out the 2019 Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Stars. Next up, the 3A and 4A All-Star match. On behalf of the Indiana High School Coaches Volleyball Association, welcome to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. In the spirit of sportsmanship, we ask that all fans act responsibly and courteously to those around you. Abuse of language or disorderly conduct is unacceptable and unwelcome. Let's support the student athletes, the coaches, officials, and your fellow fans to respect and deserve. Your cooperation is appreciated. Also, fans, please be advised that Lawrence North High School is a smoke-free campus. The staff and management, all team members, thank you for your cooperation in not smoking. Please enjoy tonight's match.
Welcome back to Jack Keefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School as we continue the All-Star festivities here at the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Sunday. Hi again, everybody. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Brooke Pinky of Covenant Christian, in the house with us in the broadcast booth this afternoon. As we await our final broadcast of the day, it's the 3A, 4A All-Stars turn, the South and the North senior class about to do battle here in about 3 or 4 minutes. Throughout today's festivities, the North take the junior all-star game 2-0, and the South extract a little revenge in that regard, that being at the senior level, 2-0 on their path in the 1A, 2A game. And as I bring Coach Binky into the fray, Coach, we talked a little bit about off-air, and we say this in no disrespect to the 1A and 2A level, but as you'd expect at 3A and 4A, you have higher enrollments, you have more bodies coming through the door, more opportunities for there to be talented kids coming through the gymnasium doors, and that is the same here in this 3A, 4A game. Explain to the folks at home that maybe you're a first-time viewer or maybe don't understand how big a difference it's going to be with what we'll see on the floor in this 3A, 4A level by comparison to the 1A, 2A games that we saw just a little bit ago.
Yeah, I think that just the arm swings of these players, they're taller to begin with. They're just swing faster, and they just it's just a different level of play. I think that the defense will be incredible, long rallies, but then also some short rallies just because you can see these hitters, they can hit the ball very hard.
For both of these teams, as we've kind of preached to you all day long, there are some familiar faces if you followed us on Indian SRN throughout the volleyball season. Davia Poitras out of Rebuff, number 12 in red for the South All-Stars, is one name that jumps off the page right away in terms of players that we've seen before. But even if you haven't seen them on a broadcast yet, Coach, if they're on the floor today, they earned their way here and have carved a path to close out their high school campaign.
Oh yeah, they had to be selected from probably over 40 girls. They picked 14 or so to be here, so they had to try out, and this is just kind of a culminating high school event for them in their high school volleyball. A lot of them probably play club and will go on to play at the collegiate level if they are here today, but this is the end of their high school volleyball career.
Now, we talked a little bit, and we'll stress it as the match goes on. We talked a little bit about it in our first broadcast together, referring to you and I, of course. This is our third broadcast of the day. But last game in Class 1A and 2A, we preached and talked about how timing is going to be the biggest thing. That and communication are the two biggest keys that you need to have if you're going to win and be successful here. But also, communication, sure, it's easier. Timing is the hardest aspect of all, and it's tough to manufacture that on the fly.
Oh yeah, they had an hour and a half to practice it, but it just, you work on setter hitter timing specifically. That's the hardest part, trying to know where the setter is going to put the ball for you to be in the best possible position to get the kill, and without communication you just can't have that. But these players play at such a high level, they have very little room for error at the level that they play at, so hopefully we'll be able to see that picks up really quick in the first few points of the game.
Do you think, in terms of what's going to be on the floor this afternoon, that it's going to be more the athleticism that differs from the 1A, 2A game, or do you think it'll be more just the pace of the game?
Yeah, I think the pace of the game will be different, but I do think that the athleticism, we'll see a huge jump in that. Just like I said earlier, faster arm swings, they can get off the floor a lot faster, more explosive, just kind of a different level of play.
And the play, of course, the pace is going to change quite a bit. That's one of the biggest aspects that we're looking forward to throughout this entire match. But also from the fact that, you know, it's not so much meshing these teams together on the fly, but the coaches seeing them for the first time, trying to make it be picture perfect or as much as you can ask for, given the circumstances that the All-Star games obviously surround.
Yeah, I think the coaches try and just give them a few tips and few simple strategies to start out with, but also just playing at their level. It should be a good match no matter what strategy you have in place, because these players are good.
Featuring the
the coach of Covenant Christian, Brooke Binky, alongside me for this broadcast today. And, of course, the coach, Keith Myers, will be alongside as well for sideline reporting today. Coach? I'm doing great. How are you doing? How's it been to be out of the chair and moving around?
Because it seems like Brooke is being really comfortable in my seat, which means that Jerry Mike's going to renew my contract. But, Coach, I have a question for you. Did you ever get to play in an all-star game like this?
I did not. I tried out my senior year, but I didn't make it. So, no, I didn't play, but I have coached.
So, yeah, I know you coached a couple years ago, and you also made a trip to the state finals. Tell our fans maybe back home what it feels like to win, to go to state finals that whole entire week, and now all of a sudden these kids some of those kids played on an all-star game. How does that make you feel as a coach?
You just feel so proud. It's just honestly a surreal experience. Just looking back, it kind of just feels like it was a dream. Honestly, it was just fun to see the girls have so much success with all their hard work, and now seeing them play at the collegiate level, and then they got to end their high school careers playing together against some of the teammates that they played with, and also players that they played against throughout the season. So it was just an amazing experience.
And I just got handed your basketball schedule for this year for Indiana SRN, so you only have to do 17 games. Congratulations, guys.
Good work, Coach.
Yeah, there you go.
Right off the bat.
I'll be talking to guys on the sidelines. I hope you guys enjoyed the ball game.
Thank you so much. That's the coach, Keith Myers. We'll have him throughout today's broadcast with sideline interviews. We'll step away while they do their introductions. When we come back, we will have opening service for you. It's the 3A, 4A All-Star Game, our last one of the day on Indiana SRN.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
My favorite patient. My favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Welcome back to Jack Keefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Brooke Binky. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Sunday with us. Our last of our three broadcasts today. Class 3A and 4A North and South All-Stars wrapping things up. Due to time constraints, we will announce rosters for you as they happen on the fly as we wrap things up today. Coach, from the player's mindset today in an all-star game like this, we talked about where the emotions were at by comparison to your final high school game, but in terms of your mentality, is it mainly kind of loosey-goosey about everything, just having fun, enjoying it, or does the player aspect of, hey, I want to win this, I want a medal around my neck to close things out come into play too?
I think that they are all competitive and that they want that. They want that medal. They want to perform well on their last game. So I think that because of that competitive spirit, they probably have a little bit of nerves, but maybe not as high as what they did in their last match of high school. But I think they're all going for the win. They're talented enough players that it's possible it could go either way. I think that they want the win, but they also want to enjoy the day.
We'll take a break quickly. When we come back, we will have our opening service, North-South 3A, 4A All-Star Game on Indiana SRN.
Life Centers offers love and compassion to all women and men who come through our 8 centers. The goal of this love and compassion is that we would not only save babies from abortion, but also transform lives and create families. The forms of this love and compassion are our services. All of our services are offered free of charge to our clients. To learn more about Life Centers, contact us at lifecenters.com or call us at 317-280-2635. Life Centers. We choose compassion.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Brooke Benke. Both North and South teams huddling up ready for this all-star match. The traditional red jerseys for the South, navy blue jerseys for the North. Culmination of a season-long campaign. Hard to believe that we got started here on Indiana SRN with volleyball back in August, and here we are a stone's throw away from Christmas and a little skip before Thanksgiving later this week. Coach, any exciting Thanksgiving plans for you?
Just spending time with family and.
You go out of town or stay local?
Stay local, all central
Same.
Indiana. I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off working the schools, so just have Monday, Tuesday.
Nice. Serving to open things up will be Mara Perry from Muncie Burris. Her service over the net. Counter strike by the North. South will roll up. That's a fast-paced shot, deflected. Cross-court shot. Well, Coach, I'll say one thing. The pace is definitely faster, but the accuracy in terms of return shots and passing is just very, very crisp.
Yes, it is. This might be a game of who can find the floor.
Like, I don't know if any points are going to be scored today. It's looking like that kind of pace right now. Soft shot and a diving effort there by Weber. We'll let this breathe here for a second. Encapsulated by the quick passing. And finally a point is scored, and it's on an error. And that shot was just long. And a point for the South. They strike first. Only took about a minute and a half, but point finally on the board.
Yeah, it'll be a day of long rallies. No one willing to let the ball drop.
It also felt like in that first point that neither team was trying to necessarily utilize one specific thing. You weren't seeing a pass right into a spike. You were seeing crisp passes, maybe utilizing the full 3 hits before you decided to attack the part of the zone you wanted.
Yeah, you won't see a lot of out of system or plays where the second ball is off of the net very far. So I think that it'll be a game of mixing up shots and who can be the smartest, not necessarily hit the hardest.
We're all tied at 1. That's a good point. Sometimes it's good to have brains on the side instead of just brawn, per se. Shot in front of the net, read well by the North. That shot looked like it was going to be long, but Cecilia Rush attacks and keeps it in play. That's partially blocked, and quickness was there for Riley Nuss, but could not get to it. 2 straight points for the North.
Yeah, it was a smart play off of the block. That block is very tall out there on the outside for the South, but they found a way through it.
Anna Murphy sets up her shot on the service. Counterattack by the South is a kill. Ricocheted off the back line there. So I guess I have to ask this question now, Coach. We talked about how, and maybe it'll rear its ugly head in as this game goes on. We talked about how timing and chemistry is hard to make on the fly. Is it just a 1A, 2A thing, or is the 3A, 4A just right now all adrenaline and riding that into a great play so far?
Yeah, I think that both of them are having a little bit of time to adjust to that timing. We're not seeing a ton of big swings, although that was just one. But I think that the more the timing gets down, we'll see those hard shots instead of the tips and roll shots.
So a point to the South after that violation against the North. Makes that 3-2 in favor of the South.
Abby Weber with the kill point. North All-Stars. In for the North at number 4 and serving number 4.
Scratch that, 3-3 rather.
Haley Kate Rizzo.
North will serve. Haley Kate Rizzo serving. Play in front of the net.
Tanya Daisy with the kill point. North All-Stars.
Kaylee Cadrezzo continues her service out of Western High School. That one hit on the back row. Povlin. All right, set up Daisy. Here comes the South. Play on the outside, partially blocked. Howard through the block on that shot. And it was Olivia Utterback out of Plainfield.
Olivia Utterback with a kill, point South All-Stars.
The right side lefty is a hard shot to stop in Indiana volleyball and volleyball in general. It's a very hard shot to defend against.
We haven't seen a lot of them. That's an ace there. Beautiful, beautiful serve that time by Cindy Tucker. Excuse me, Courtney Glosbach. Another kill for the North. Makes it 5-5.
There haven't been a lot of swings or hits yet that haven't touched the block. The blockers are really getting a lot of touches on these, but the hitters are still getting through.
Counter shot by the North. Does that surprise you that the hitters are still getting through on these?
No, these blockers are very tall, but they're also very quick. They're able to move and adjust to where the setters are setting the ball. So I would expect us to get more blocks and more touches on these than we've seen earlier in the day.
Another point for the North, that time an ace by Olivia Payne-Pinto. Her serve, that was a very low loft serve. Counter shot, though, by the South. Brings them back within one. So it's been the trend so far for all of the broadcasts that we've done today. Little mini runs, maybe 1 or 2 points, but not a lot of separation. Both teams kind of still feeling each other out and getting their chemistry down as well.
Yeah, the first set specifically have been kind of back-to-back. No one really takes a strong lead.
Play in front of that, a full-scale spike by Povlin, rather. And the answer at about 100 miles an hour that time by the North. Lexi Almodovar.
Yeah, we just talked about the block, but there was no touch defensively on that by the South. That was a strong, fast swing.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot during the regular season that as a defender, if you're going to be playing in front of the net, that first line of defense is so critical because if you miss on it or you don't commit to it, then it relies on whoever's trying to make a dig there. And both of those two defenders, you have to commit to that immediately. You can't, stick one toe in the water. You have to be all the way in to try to make a defensive stop there.
Yeah, the back row lines up specifically off of where the blockers are lined up on. So if they aren't there, then that just makes so much court for the defense to cover in the back row.
Quality dig there by the South as they maybe heard us or realized they needed to be a little bit quicker. And this rally continues. Soft finesse shot. Well read by the North. One hit to get it over. Blocked in front by Jamie Brown and Asia Povlin. Brown from Center Grove High School. Povlin from Sullivan.
Now serving.
Nice play. You saw a replay right there. Good communication between those two on the front line. Makes it 8-7. Running jump serve by Rush. Counterattack by the North. That might be in the net. Oh, good adjustment there by Povlin. Looked like she let her too far. And nice misdirection shot there by Victoria Bowman out of Mount Vernon of Portville.
Yeah, we really haven't seen a lot of offensive setters this year. A lot of the setters this day have been pretty much just setting.
I think there might have been one other instance today where there was a misdirection shot like that. Is that something that surprises you? We haven't seen a lot of that, or are they so worried about getting timing on the normal sets that that's really all they're focusing on?
Yeah, I think that they're probably more offensive when they're with their team. They know who can put the ball away and when that decision needs to be made for them to maybe be offensive. But I think that the more that they set the hitters, the more the timing's going to get down, so that probably plays a huge part in it.
That serve just got over the net. North weren't expecting it to. Now they'll have to counter. South gets it over, a little campfire shot. Attempting to pancake that was Allie Kate Rizzo, but just a second late. And now the South, after trailing 8-7, on a little 3-0 run, up 10-8. There's not a aggregate trophy given at the end of this. That service was short by Rush. The last one just barely got over. But in terms of for fun on our end, the North took the junior level all-star match. The South take the 1A, 2A senior all-star game. So they're split 1-1 for supremacy of North and South all-star ranks. That shot just barely floated to the right corner. Looked like it was going to go way long, and then just kind of died at the end.
Yeah, that she's had 2 of those right to that left back corner. Difficult to defend. You don't see a setter with the strength to push it that far deep very often, but she just done it twice successfully.
From that aspect of viewers at home that are maybe watching this for their first real volleyball action they're seeing, or maybe their relatives or friends that are watching one of the girls on the floor right now that maybe don't watch a lot of volleyball, those type of shots, and realize this is the pinnacle of the top tier levels of high school volleyball in our state. As a point there again for the South. How hard is that, as we'll keep it here, because I want to get the answer to that question and not cut it off. We might go to actually Coach Myers, so we will cut the question off anyway. Our sideline reporter, Coach Keith Myers, standing by. Coach?
Coach from St. Francis College, Scott Hadis. Congratulations for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You had some snow to get it through.
Yeah, it started snowing yesterday about 3:30, and by 6 o'clock, I think we had 3 or 4 inches on the ground.
Let's talk a little bit about the All-Star game. You've been involved in this, the banquet, the All-Star game. Kids get to play one more game. It's good for the game. It's also good for these kids.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful experience. It just showcases the talent that we have all over the state of Indiana at all levels, and they get to play with some kids that have been competitors before. So I think it's just a great day of camaraderie, and obviously the execution is at a high level also.
At seniors that haven't made a choice, when coaches go back and watch this, will college coaches watch this? Will they look at some players and maybe give them offers because of what they've seen today?
Well, at this stage of the season and this stage in their career, by the time they hit this year as a senior, they're probably already committed places. But by all means, if there's some kids out here that are uncommitted, college coaches are going to pay attention because it's a legit all-star tournament and a legitimate all-star opportunity. So if they show well against some other talented players at this level, coaches are going to definitely take notice of that.
Final question to juniors. It's loaded, but the sophomore class is incredible. It's getting better and better and better. What do you say? What is making that happen?
I just think there's a lot of consistency right now in how kids are being trained, how often they're being trained at both the high school and the club level. So kids are going through year-round, and they're getting a lot of the same type of attention. They're getting the same type of instruction. So that consistency is just improving our younger athletes faster and at an earlier age. And all the work that's being done in strength and conditioning and nutrition and sleep habits just allows these kids to develop at a better and a faster rate. It's great for the sport.
Volleyball is very, very healthy in Indiana.
Volleyball is beautiful in Indiana. I love being a small part of it.
Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Coach. That's the Coach, Keith Myers. Say 16-11 advantage for the South All-Stars during that conversation, as you did see bits and pieces of it there. Coach will continue to be perusing the sidelines, trying to find potential guests, figures, coaches, you name it, to talk to. Riley Nuss of Brownstown Central with the service. That shot just rode the sideline. So there's the question I wanted to ask then. So from the aspect of that type of accuracy, that one was, full speed, but there's been some float shots that you just carefully find that back corner. How hard is that to do? Because you think about it as, throwing a football, for instance. Like to some, but that's the same accuracy standpoint of you have to have timing, you have to have grip control, you have to know where you want to go with the ball. How hard is that to do? What makes that happen? And is it unusual to see that for younger players? Is it more fully mastered by the time you're a senior?
Yeah, that's very a high level shot for a setter. I would say that you don't see that for younger setters at all. That just the accuracy and the versatility that she has shown, number 8 for the South on her placement, and then also not only the physical aspect, but the also decision making. She has to know that she's not going to have a blocker up there against her. She has to know that their defense might be in transition, so she has to be able to read the other side of the court to make the decision on when it's appropriate to do that.
North have scored 2 straight points, back within 3, 17-14.
Points, North All-Stars.
This is, like we said, kind of the same way that these games have set up so far in opening sets. You have a short little mini runs with not big leads. Then by the middle of the match, there's a big advantage that's happened, and then it gets closer together on that race to 25. A full-scale spike that time by Courtney Lutzbach, powered through on the block. South now back up by 4. We'll take one more look at as a replay of that last spike a couple plays ago by Delaney Hogan. Victoria Bowman service. Full speed. Bowman there to keep it alive. They'll go outside this time. Lutzbach. That's going to be a kill off a slight ricochet. Poor platform there by Murphy.
Yeah, setter takes the first ball. It's kind of a toss-up on who's going to get that second ball. A lot of times you have that in system in your high school team, but since they haven't played, they might not have that down.
North able to answer. Back within 4. Give it to Abby Weber out of Hamilton Southeastern. That'll be Haley Kate Rizzo for Western High School serving for the North. That one bounced off the backboard. That's still in play. We learned during one of our broadcasts in terms of the way that the officials in Indiana play that is that, and I didn't know this going in, if it's hit on your side while you're trying to return it and it ricochets off something, you keep it in play. But if it hits when you've already returned it over the net on your shot and it's an advantageous bounce, then they call it dead.
Yes, it can hit on your side as long as you still have another play to make on it.
Right. You have to really focus on that. For instance, my alma mater at Roncalli, and they have a new gymnasium built, much higher ceiling. I think getting ready to debut that this winter. But they still played at the old woodshed, which, if you've ever been to Brebeuf, which you have, I'm sorry, I know, who am I talking to? Service City Conference coach. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a much shorter ceiling, so there's plenty more obstacles to be in play. When you go to these different gyms as a coach, are you thinking about that at all ahead of time, or is it you walk in, you look up, and you're like, oh, this might make things interesting tonight?
Yeah, actually, Chittard, Ritter, Brebeuf, Roncalli, all of them kind of have that obstacle that we don't have at our gym. So we don't practice it, but I do prepare my players that the ceiling is lower, so we're going to have to be intentional about how high we pass, how high we dig, because we do get stuck in those gyms.
Here's a fun fact for you that you might not know about. And I believe Cecina is in this mix as well. If I'm wrong on this, I apologize for the Crusaders listening to this. All of those gyms you mentioned were designed by the same architect. Mm-hmm. So they're all for instance, it's like being in a, we'll take this off the rails fully. For me, it's like being in a different dimension, because I'll walk to a certain part of of Ritter or Brebeuf, and I'll be like, oh, this should be where this is, and that's exactly where it is at Roncalli. So you're not wrong to think that those 4 gyms are like that because they were all designed the same way.
It makes sense because they all are so similar, exactly designed the same. It would make sense it would be the same person.
As really the better part of this 21st century is a lot of the schools, there's a nice kill there by the North, have made redevelopments or added on. You don't see those similarities much anymore, as you'd expect as campuses start to become their own beast. But a little fun fact there about the Central Indiana campuses.
Yeah, most of them are in the Circle City Conference that Covenant is in.
21-19 the score. It's a 2-point advantage for the South. Make it a 3-point advantage as we bring the train back to these all-star festivities.
Back in for the South, number 2, Cecilia Rush.
Coach, you told me before we went on, as we kind of mentioned in our first segment, that the play would be more on point. You're starting to see some more gaps. I think that might be South starting to get a little bit of an upper hand and understanding where weaknesses might be. But the first 20 points here, very lack of unforced errors, all on point, primed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they kind of were playing it pretty smart, not willing to give up those unforced errors there at the beginning. We've seen a few here recently, but yeah, I think that we might see a few more now that they're swinging a lot harder and going for those big kills instead of playing it smart.
Lexi Almodovar with the service. Counterattack by the South is down. Nice shot there. I believe it was Asia Hovland with the kill. Indeed it was.
The South has had a lot of success on their right side with their lefty, Olivia Utterback, and then also that shot right there. The right side is hard to defend. A lot of teams don't practice against a strong right side.
Is that from an aspect of game planning, as the North answers to the point of their own, and we are on set point now, so I'll try to keep this quick. When you have, like say you're about to face a talented running back in football, and you maybe don't have a talented running back on your team to practice against to simulate that, is that what it's like for the other teams around the state, that it's hard to train for hard right side hitting because you don't have that, or because teams just don't practice it?
A lot of teams just don't have it, so then you don't have something to practice against. My team specifically, you try and emulate it, but it's not the same as having someone at this caliber. But yeah, you try and practice it, but a lot of times teams don't have it, so that you don't have that on the other side of the net against your practice squad.
Service for the North as we are in set point. It was 24-20. It's 24-22 now. South looking to put this away. North trying to stay alive. Set number 1, best of 3. And that will be a point for the South, as it was ricocheted and touched by the North. They win it 25-22. We'll step away briefly. When we come back, we will have the second set. It could be a deciding one. South look for the sweep. When we come back, 3A, 4A All-Stars on Indiana SRN.
Parents, do you like free food? Hike it on over to Prodigy Burger Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Thanks to Rick McIntyre and McIntyre Imaging for their support of Christian radio and sports. Their service is capturing moments in time and images that provide a record of the celebrations, blessings, and gifts the Lord has given. McIntyre Imaging Products gives their clients a snapshot of life for family and future generations. You may reach Rick and his staff at McIntyre Imaging at www.mcintyreimaging.com.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Back with the All-Star Game. South leads 1-0 game number 2. With us is Rhonda Lau. She is the head boys volleyball coach at Cathedral. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about this All-Star Game first, and we'll talk a little bit about the boys. But this All-Star Game, second one, the third year that we've been involved, growing each year.
It's growing as well, and we've had more nominees for the selection committee, and the tryouts were well attended this year.
Let's talk a little bit about boys volleyball. It's a spring sport. You said there's more teams are involved than ever before. What brings the attraction to the boys?
It's a quick game. It's something inside. It is a complementary sport to baseball and basketball, so they can do some cross-training. And it's just an exciting sport when you raise that net 8 inches and they start attacking the ball and they feel that energy of the attack and the pass. Is just a fun game for both boys and girls.
You also have a state championship for boys. It's not a sanctioned sport by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, but you got a state championship that's played every year, either at Southport or other surrounding schools. How many teams will participate this year in the state tournament?
Well, right now we're having more teams added. I just talked to a new team. Jefferson down at New Albany is having a new team here. So we've got 80 different teams at about 45 different schools. So it's kind of a cool thing. Everybody can enter. This is going to be our 27th year for the state tournament. We started in '94, so if I can count right, it's the 27th. And we bring in on Friday night the Final Four, and then we play the finals and the finals on Saturday. And then we also have an all-star match in between the Final Four and the championship.
It's a very healthy sport for boys as well, very healthy sport. Indiana is just leading the nation in volleyball. They have some good volleyball players.
We have excellent on the girls' side, and we have excellent on the boys' side. As the D2s and D3s are growing, we have more boys going on to play at all levels. We've had boys that have gone D1 and have played overseas and have played sand professionals, and we've got a lot of guys that are just coaching now because they love the sport and they want to give back to the sport. If
there's a team out there or a school out there, real quick, how do they get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of you?
Get a hold of me at Cathedral High School. It's rlow@gocathedral.com, and then I will forward that to your area representatives.
There you go. Back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Coach. That, of course, is the coach, Keith Myers. And for those of you just joining the broadcast, hi again, everybody. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Brooke Binke of Covenant Christian High School as we bring you the second set of a best-of-3, our final game of the day here in the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Games. Coach, a fast start out of the gate for the South. They lead 7-2 right now. Make that 7-3. South fans in attendance and the players on the bench about to jump out of their seats in what would have been an 8-2 lead, but it's 7-3 instead. But South really starting to gel and pull away in the early going. Still plenty of volleyball left, but right now all South.
Yeah, they have had a lot of good offensive plays. They've put the ball away. They haven't really given North the chance to respond.
Counterattack, North forcing an opportunity there. That one was, I believe, Elena Lacey on the kill. Indeed it was out of Jefferson High School. Correction, me and the PA announcer both made the same mistake there if you heard it on our end. That was from the south sheet. That was Delaney Hogan from the north with that point. And suddenly Hogan again gets the point down, and it's 3 straight points for the north, back within 2.
Now serving for the north, number 13, Mara Perry.
It'll be Mara Perry out of Muncie Burris with that service. South look to counter. Play in front of the net, partially blocked. South one hit to get it over. They do. North on the counter strike. That one is out. Or excuse me, it's ricochet. It's partially tipped, they should say. That kill belongs to Maggie Castleman out of Heritage High School.
She's had some success serving short right here. Her whole purpose of serving short is to take a hitter potentially out of the game.
That was a full force shot. That's a kill by Charity McDowell, the only player on either team that is a member of host Lawrence North.
Back in for the South, number 9, Olivia Otterback. Also number 8.
So maybe one of the few players where this game might mean a little bit more because it's a +1 on your final game for your home court. Thought maybe senior day was it, but here we are.
Yep. Yeah, nothing's like playing on your home court as a senior especially.
South try to counter. Shot ricocheted over the net. North one hit to get it over. They do, and that dig is slightly misplayed by Bowman. She came at it at an angle, a different angle than the trajectory of that spike was, and just ricocheted out, and a point for the North.
Yeah, just wasn't quite able to get completely under it and drop a shoulder that she needed to keep it on this side.
Savannah Chacon of Crown Point High School serving in the net. South can breathe a little bit. 9-7.
Back in for the South, number 1, Anna Murphy.
Call those situational serves where you kind of are getting ready to take some momentum or need to break the momentum, and then you have an unforced error. It kind of kills the momentum.
Disrupts everything. Cassidy Hoback on the service. And that shot, I think, was airmailed there by McDowell. Got a little too excited there. Makes it just a 1-point lead now for the South. North will have their service as the pace of this match suddenly grinding to a bit of a halt. The North try to get their footing back. Castleman's service. That time got all of it, did McDowell. It was blocked, and the ricochet off that block sent it behind everybody. Makes it 10-8. McDowell will take a seat, and Olivia Blackletter out of Bloomington South comes back in rotation.
Now serving number 14,
Yeah, they've been successful both sides against hitting it high, what we would say. When you have big blockers, you kind of have to hit high, and then it goes deep into the court that is hard to defend.
Charity McDowell's service, a mile a minute there by Brooke Smith out of Leo High School.
North All-Stars. Back in for the North, number 14, Lexi Alamadovar. Also number 2, Kaylee Lyons.
Both coaches, Jason Young and Jennifer Shade. Jason Young for the North, they were both in the state finals. Jennifer Shade winning the state finals for 3A for Brownstown Central this year. Both had amazing seasons and coaching careers for that matter.
And you would hope the cream of the crop there would be in at the leadership helm for both of these teams.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least experience enough coaches that know how to facilitate it. I know to the coaches it really doesn't mean a lick to them about coaching in this one. It's all still about the girls that are here that have paved their way.
Yeah. But it's still an honor to be a coach here, and it's neat to see these players, especially as seniors, go on and watch them, potentially some of them play for some pretty big schools on TV. To know that you coach them for a day is an honor.
Elena Lacey out of Jefferson High School serving for the South. They lead it by 2, 11-9. They lead 1-0 in this best-of-3 setting. That one's airmailed, making a 12-9 advantage now. Overhand service. That one an error unforced by the South, so a point for the North. And we kind of thought that this might happen, but the deeper that we go into this match, Brooke, it feels like that as you get tired, as you get fatigued, very fast-paced match, that maybe those unforced errors we didn't see in the beginning start to creep their way back in a little bit.
Yeah, so it kind of could be due to fatigue and just getting tired, but also just not playing it as safe as what they were maybe at the beginning, being more aggressive.
Right now, not a lot of room to play it too safe if you're the South. They do have within arm's length of distance, leading by 3. Service by Riley Winslow of New Albany. South at the point on that block. Makes it 14-10. Having coached this event before, being coach for an all-star team, where does your mentality kind of change in terms of the way you approach this? Is it similar to the way maybe like you would start the season because it's new faces, or is it even more lax than that?
Yeah, probably more relaxed than that. I think that at the beginning of the season, you're not using as much strategy because you haven't all figured out what is going to be your game plan and what your strengths and weaknesses completely are, which is kind of where they're at here, trying to keep it simple, keep your ball control intact, serve well, and just try and pinpoint the other team's weaknesses early.
Point for Lexi Almodovar, powering through a block there. Brooke Smith serving. One hit to get it over for the South. They do on a floating shot that finds an opening on the far right side. Makes it 16-11. Point for the South. The advantage now is 5.
Yeah, the South has had some pretty smart plays throughout this whole match. They've done well in the deep corners. The North hasn't defended that very well.
Especially so here in the second set. A violation against the North, and it'll be a point for the South. They now lead by 6, 17-11. Outside attack. That one is a kill. Give it to Maggie Castleman. Back within 5. The North realizing that they need to kind of go on a run here. They want to extend this match. The margin for error is another look at that full speed hit. A good effort there by Cecilia Rush, trying to make a play on it. But they realize that they're kind of in endgame territory right now. Need to get a couple points your way before this thing fully rolls out of hand.
Yeah, it's kind of crunch time. They're getting closer to that 20 mark, and the North kind of needs to go on a run, get over 15 to keep this a close game.
Of course, the South with complete other intentions in mind, wanting to coast and complete this sweep. Victoria Bowman's service just gets over on the let serve, and a timeout taken by the North. We'll take one as well. 19-12, 6 points away the South are from a win on Indiana SRN.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to Jack Kiefer Gymnasium on the campus of Lawrence North High School. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Brooke Binky of Covenant Christian. 19-13, a point there for the North as we just came back from break. Deficit is 6, and the South are 6 points away from a clean sweep. Play in front of the net. That time they set up McDowell, and it's a kill. The Lawrence North native has the South 5 points away. And a 2-0 set sweep of the 3A-4A All-Star game. Riley Nuss out of Brownstown Central. The running jump serve. North try to counter. Partially ricocheted. One hit to get it over. They do on the nice vertical by Winslow. Counter strike, partially blocked. Good play in front of the net by the North. Back within 6.
Both teams are doing a very good job of moving the ball around on the net, so setting outside, right side, middle, and setting all 3 hitters up.
We expected that type of fluidity with the 3A, 4A game. It's been nice to see it delivered full scale. Nice float shot there by Olivia Utterback out of Plainfield High School. 4 points away to the South, 21-14.
Yeah, it's just a smart play. You get a few good, solid hits, and then everyone's anticipating that. So
Lawrence North's own Charity McDowell with the service. Counterattack by the North. It's powered through. Nice shot again by Brooke Smith. She's had a quality day for the North All-Stars. Back within 6. We talked about it. That window of opportunity is fastly closing against the North, but they're continuing to fight and trying to keep their hopes alive here. Counter strike that time. All South. Riley Winslow with the kill.
She really explodes off of the ground.
Undecided on where she'll go.
Back in for the South, number 11, Courtney Gonsback. Also number 5, Elena Lacey.
Only 5'6", but she can
the vertical is
reach.
Very, very strong. Elena Lacey with the service. Counterattack by the North. Blocked on the spike. But it blocks out. So it's a point for the North. 22-16.
Now serving for the North, number 1, Anna Murphy.
Anna Murphy out of Zionsville. Overhand serve received by the South, and a misplay platform there by Riley Nuss. So we talk about percentages of closing out a match. Your main game plan by the South is, all right, don't make unforced errors. Hope the North make a couple unforced errors, and if they don't, we'll find enough opportunities to get the job done. Right now for the South, though, unforced errors like that's what you can't have.
Right, yeah, you kind of have to be pretty disciplined and even just play clean volleyball, even if it's not perfect.
Play outside there by the North. They went to Brooke Smith again, who's been a point scorer all day long. That time the South tried to block it, but it got around that block and nobody was there to corral that ricochet. Service by the North. And that's a hit out by the South. So a point for the North, and they've got the closest they've been since the early goings of the second set. It's 22-19.
It's definitely doable for the North. 22-19 is something you practice and practice coming back from.
Can't have the momentum run killed here, though. They don't. They get a block there. Not 22-20. And at what point does the South call a timeout here? They'll call it right now. The lead is 2. We'll keep it here. 22-20 the score. South trying to regroup a little bit as the North, with some never say die attitude, we'll send it down to the coach, Keith Myers. Coach,
hey,
what's coming up on Indiana SRN?
Hey, don't forget high school basketball starting tomorrow, Monday, the first game for the boys season right here on Indiana SRN as we travel to Central Christian, taking on Horizon Christian. Games for you all this week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A total of 16 games on the network in the next 2 weeks right here on Indiana SRN. It begins with basketball tomorrow on Indiana SRN starting at 6:40. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Coach. That's the Coach Keith Myers. A wonderful time to be a fan of Indiana SRN broadcasts, and good to see the big-time action on the hardwood transition from volleyball to basketball. Speaking of big-time action, nice shot there by Olivia Blackletter.
Yeah, that's the answer that you want from a coach after
right out of
a
the timeout. Yep. Hate to see those timeouts wasted and then it turns into an unforced error the other way. That time the South deliver on it. They'll lead back to 3. North looking for answers. They find it.
It was a fast middle set. It's hard to get both blockers there on that fast offense. She kind of had a wide open shot.
Delaney Hogan got it done there. Brooke Smith serving for the North. South on the counterattack. Which way do they go? They go outside. Blocked, but it's out. They're blocked out. The South briefly get a sigh of relief there as it is match point. 24-21. We've seen crazier things happen. Cecilia Rush of Providence.
The North is really fighting back, coming alive.
Cecilia Rush of Providence serving it up to close things out, and the North answer. Lexi Almodovar with that kill. Cuts the deficit to 2. Remember, the margin for error, though, is fully closed. Olivia Penpinto of Crown Point High School service received by the South. Match point 2. They go outside, powers through, and the South All-Stars are your winners and your champions in Class 3A, 4A. They win it by a final, the same score they won that first set of, 25-22. Coach, it's been a thrilling couple of games here. We had the nice junior matches to start off with, and then the 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A games, all delivering the type of excitement that we would expect. What have you thought of the overall festivities today and what you've seen on the floor?
Just some really clean volleyball. These are just really talented players. You can tell that they've been coached well and just have fine-tuned their game. Just great players. So just a lot of fun volleyball, and it's kind of amazing how well these girls have kind of meshed together just in this short amount of time. They only met early this morning, yet they were playing together as if they had been playing for a whole season together. So it was fun to watch, fun to be a part of today.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you very much for taking some time to hang with us today to call these games. I know you're going to enjoy the offseason and hit the ground running, when it comes time for play as the summer conditioning, and then ultimately when the season starts in August. I want to thank Ben Wood, Jerry Collins, Debbie Myers, the coach Keith Myers for all his action today, as well as my partner for these last 2 broadcasts in Coach Brooke Binky of Covenant Christian High School. And for those of you that are curious, be sure to email coach@indianasrn.org if you're wanting to get involved with the product that we put on here to celebrate these student athletes that participate night in and night out. The basketball season is going to be busy. We always welcome new sponsorships and new assistance for Indiana SRN. Again, that's coach@indianasrn.org. For our entire staff and crew here, that about wraps it up for the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association All-Star Sunday. Again, our final in this final game of the 3A, 4A All-Stars. The South take it 2-0, and the South take all the festivities 2-1. For our entire staff and crew, this is Jimmy Cook saying until we talk to you later this week for the basketball season. So long, everybody.